active, although there's that weird starting period where you just don't know what's going on. Um, but by now it should probably have stabilized and picked up. There we go. It's receiving content. So, where are we at? Is the question for y'all.
That's easy enough to answer. We have just helped the village discover several thousand metric tons of high quality steel that we have discovered by mere chance. And we have gotten some new toys out of it.
Interesting. Very interesting. Now then. It is the next day, isn't it? Or did you do anything else that day? You ordered the
I don't
statue
think
being made and all?
Yeah, I probably spent a few part of that day posing for the statue.
You're a bit silent, Belmore. And I got you maxed out.
Weird.
Let's see if there might be. Oh, Discord's on the same volume as always.
Am I louder
A bit.
A little bit.
now?
There we go.
Better.
That's pretty good.
Okay, I'm just figuring things out on my new computer. So,
Well, this is workable. So,
right.
where we were at specifically is the real question. You guys leveled up. You got some cool new weapons and stuff.
Yep. Well,
Indeed.
yeah. I especially have a entire arsenal that I can just pull out from the shadow realm or
Out of yourself, out of your heart, where you keep all the good stuff.
Yep.
No. You were naturally offered a room for free for all the services you've rendered so far. But you gonna do anything else today?
The only thing that we might have missed is actually warning them about the source of the attack.
Huh?
What do you mean, Como?
That the Ash Lords have inadvertently, like ultimately they don't care, but they have caused one of the cultists to go insane and try to destroy the village.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's stamina?
Oh, that'll come in eventually.
Okay.
So, you're gonna warn them and tell them that the two are unrelated?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna warn them and we're gonna tell them that in case something like this again happens, that this is the source, at the very least the last known source of it, and that they should be looking for one of several Ashen Mages and that they're reasonably easy to deal with. Tell them
Brewer
that
is
they need a lot of
a little
weapons.
bit like that's not really why you were sent up there, but okay.
Well, it just happened. We just so happened to discover this. I mean, the villagers are welcome to try and do it whatever they want.
We will see how this unpacks thanks to your agitations of the situation. It doesn't seem
I mean,
too elated.
honestly, if the situation is like this is what gives us profit, so they might as well not do anything to
Are you telling that to his face?
prepare.
Or are you just saying that as an OOC comment?
Technically, I'm saying like this as a character, but I would not be telling it to
You probably shouldn't
the
tell him
person
no.
directly. Yes, I know, but honestly, it's like, I mean, there is a problem. You might have this problem in the future. Here's how you solve it, but you might as well not solve it because that actually gives me profit and gives me in like it's a stable work.
Until
Like,
the
I mean,
watchmen
you
show up
probably shouldn't even you
and solve
probably
it for
shouldn't
you.
even send out patrols and, post guards.
But Grower does look somewhat discontent about the situation. Because you didn't really solve anything.
We did not.
You mostly just
But
unwrap the
this was,
mystery, but
yes, this was beyond our capabilities. I mean, we can't possibly take on an entire camp of mages.
it wasn't that many, all things considered. But yeah,
Yes,
he sort of understands that angle at least. Like he did hire wanderers because that's what you people do. You clear out camps with ease, but you shouldn't expect every wanderer to be of high quality, of a good cut. It kind of grumbles at you though. It's expecting more of you.
well, they get what they paid for.
Yep,
They got all the steel they need for, I don't know, for a century probably.
most likely.
Hmm.
So, what do you want to say? Anything else to Grr and the mouthpiece of the matron? Nope.
I would like to inquire whether or not they have any sort of information on the Ash Lords specifically,
Well, they know about
in
as
light
much as
of
everyone
recent
else,
events.
which is that people that tend to do ash magic tend to eventually come into contact with it, with them.
Right, so they don't have anything in particular.
They're not like an
Something.
organized religion that travels around though and sends
I see.
missionaries.
So nobody probably keeps notes in the orc camp.
Nope.
They're not exactly
I
known
mean,
for
for the
writing
most part,
books.
like if you worship the Ash Lords, you're kind of on the blacklist, so to speak. People don't want you around because you work with magic that's really dangerous.
Just because people don't
I mean, imagine if necromancy
do,
didn't just cause necromancy, but also like caused everyone in the immediate area to suffer sickness and illness. Yeah, you're gonna get kicked out real fast.
well, just because people don't use ash magic doesn't mean they don't know ash magic.
Well, like I said, the only thing they care about is the Ash Lords are no good, and at that point they stop.
Fair enough.
They've learned their share. But is that it? That all I got to ask and say.
I think that's it. At least, unless Shady has any more questions.
I don't think so, unless you want to hire us to do something else.
Not for now, at least. Maybe
Hmm.
something will show up tomorrow.
Maybe.
Okay.
We can wait until tomorrow. Mill around for now. And if not, it's probably seasonal work. So we can show up next year.
So, are there any other interesting locations nearby other than the ruined city?
Well, there is that cave off to the southwest, from where the river springs. Um, it's a place where monsters live, but it's never been like a problem to anyone living downstream, so they never do much with it. There are the six towers, which are near the shore. The shipwrecks. There are the nearby ruins. There's the weird totem off to the west. There's a lot in the area, really.
Hmm.
So lots of points of interest.
Yep. There's also the ruins in the forest, which don't lie near a river and seem to exist almost entirely on their own.
Specifying their own.
Well, to what scouts have reported, it's just there. There's no roads going in or out. The walls seem to be built so that people don't have to leave. It's not
That's
like an
fair
inviting
enough, but
place.
is it ruins or is it just abandoned?
Well, to the best of their knowledge, it's probably ruins slash abandoned. Like they don't look inside. They were just like, there's a place here. Okay. On the map.
So it's a sort of fortress or a tower that is
It's not that big. It's not
not
like a big
entirely
city.
so it's not entirely intact, but it's not. Yeah, right.
Oh, that could be interesting.
One of the cool examples of that, this is out of character. One of the cool examples of that I've seen in Skyrim. There are a couple forts located on major roads that change hands pretty much all the time between different groups of bandits and the guards. And they essentially have no time, nor they really want to fix those. So it's ruins with like portions of walls missing, replaced with just wooden catwalks and stuff.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. Those
It's
are
kind of
cool.
fascinating. Yeah.
Okay.
But- So I suppose we can go investigate one of those locations and then return here, spend the night, and perhaps they will have some more work
Well, it
tomorrow.
would take you several days to get there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well,
So it's decently far enough. Okay. Well, if it's nothing urgent, it can probably wait. And I
Mm.
mean, considering your scouts haven't really done much other than just map the place, you can probably go in and investigate to see if there's anything useful or dangerous for the settlement.
Okay.
Yeah, the forest ruins might could be could be interesting since nobody has apparently explored them in detail.
Well, it was kind of difficult to get in. Like I said, the doors were
Can
not
I
very inviting.
Hmm.
can I make a roll to see whether or not these particular ruins would have some significance for the mage?
Um, I guess technically you could make a d20 roll and see if he knows anything about it. Does he have any history or something? Like anything that would
Yes,
help with local
maybe
information?
maybe he knows it. Well, maybe it's like pre-war ruins, or maybe he recognizes the like maybe the scouts made a sketch or something. You know,
No, they
tie
haven't
it
made a
in a
sketch.
little
They were
bit.
just they just gave a physical description of the place, which is
Oh,
not enough
okay,
to like.
description. Maybe there is some specific like feature of it, maybe like a particular spire or something like that. So,
The most significant detail was that there was a strange dome that they could sort of make out when they were in the trees.
well, let's see if my mage either knows it or recognizes it or knows that it has some sort of significance. Um,
Go.
so 1d20. Boop, nope.
Nope. That is a harsh nope.
Yep.
To open some things, actually. There we go.
In fact, I would like to do this kind of rolls for any major locations that we visit.
Sure.
Perhaps this guy knows stuff or recognizes stuff, or hell, maybe it was his like old tower or something.
Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something?
Well, technically, he currently seems he has outlived all of his peers. Maybe he didn't.
Well,
Maybe they're still around.
what's the plan for now, at least?
Which one is the closest landmark? The
You can
ruins?
see it on the map. The totem
Mm.
and the well, I guess judging by geography, the fortress would be
Hmm.
easier to go to. You could also go to the cave, which is pretty close, but again, you'd have to go through some rough terrain, and the camp might be looking for you. So,
This would be the ruins.
no, the ruins I'm talking about are over here.
Hmm.
This is the cave I mentioned.
Right.
This is the totem, and then this is a separate set
Hmm.
of ruins that seems to have a lot of like sluices for the nearby lake.
I see.
A
And
road goes near it, so it's easy enough to get to.
what about
Well,
this place?
So what people know, it's prospected to be a dragon's lair of some sorts.
Oh,
It is a lair that goes deep down into the Underdark.
well, I don't suppose this dragon will be, if there's a dragon, will be very accepting of my shenanigans. And we can't really go this way for now because we've stirred up the hornet's nest with the ashen mages and everything. So we should either go to the totem or to the ruins. Both of them seem to be relatively equal distance away. So,
Here be dragons.
Shady, where would you like to go?
I, by the way,
hmm.
imagine that you guys are like sitting in the inn by
Yes.
now, discussing this instead
Y-
of standing in front of Grur.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
just
agree.
head out and chat for a bit.
Would be a more comfortable location. Well, uh, um, as I said before, the ruined city or whatever it is in the woods could be interesting since nobody has likely that nobody has gone there before. Hmm.
Well, Safi, could you remind me how long ago was the cataclysm? 20,
I think
30
the
years?
Cataclysm was implied to be long enough ago that there's like a generation that grew up without it.
I see.
So like a lot of like flimsy structures have already collapsed and all.
I see. Because this is an interesting progression of like the whole, change of worlds, right?
Hmm.
There's the first generation that lived before that still knows stuff, and then there's the first generation that
Now the first generation were monsters that were like, wow, this really fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And
Then the
just kind of
second
went, you know
generation
what?
of
How about
H.
we never do this ever again? Like all our
Yeah.
evil was kind of leading to this, and this is terrible.
Yes.
Because don't forget, like you get experience points from monsters, so the monsters themselves are kind of egging it on.
Hmm.
At least that's a fun mechanical way to sort of try to explain it.
That's fair enough.
But now there's barely any humans left, if any, even elves and dwarves. So it's mostly just hey, shit's nice. Wee.
It's mostly just the weird
Oh,
species.
But
oh,
what are you gonna do? What's the plan?
I
oh,
would vote to go to the ruins, but if Shady has any idea, I'm gonna roll with that.
I also for the ruins. Do we have any idea what the previous inhabitants might have been? Because,
The building, according to the best of knowledge I've been able to retrieve, is that it was of elvish origin.
hmm,
It had
yep,
very
thought,
lavish walls, the kind that an elf would build.
hmm, yeah, thought as much. Like
That
the
is good because I do know the Elven language. That could come in handy.
ah,
Don't ask
nice.
where I learned that. Not entirely sure myself.
Probably from a book you once got. Like there exist translation guides into common, so if you know.
Well, that would be a plausible story, but technically I got it from the mage.
Okay. Hmm.
All
Day is
right.
getting on though.
Could you repeat that?
The day is getting on.
Yes.
Hmm.
We have most likely picked up a few rations, or at least enough supplies to last us at least a two-way trip if we don't,
Well, I'm
like
not
if
gonna
we
sit
come
on
there and there's
supplies.
nothing there.
You just have the supplies. Don't worry about it.
Well, yes, just rationalizing it, just saying we have enough supplies to go there and go back.
Yep.
And yeah, and with my ponderability, uh, I just
Yeah.
find food and water.
Just pulls it out of the ground. Just sticks his hand in
Yep,
the sand and pulls out a whole meal.
yep. Just look on the log and take out the sandwich.
That is very... Wow, it's cooked even. I can
Raw
just
chicken. It's
mostly...
real good.
I can forage and hunt, but that's about it. I actually have to cook things.
Mhm.
Well,
All right, so I assume this will take us a few days.
yes.
Is there anything... Does anything happen on the way there?
Well, yes. On your first day, do you intend to stay in the village, or are you gonna go out late at night? Like, because it's the day is getting on, and if you leave now, you'd
Uh,
basically set up camp shortly outside. So
let's stay the night and leave early in the morning.
excellent.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you decide to stay
okay.
the night. You wake up to an interesting noise. It is a distant rumble.
Oh,
On a side note, how is the weather?
The weather is fair. It's strangely cloudy. It looks like there's lightning bolts, like the clouds are flaring up with light from time to time.
Hmm.
You also notice that the clouds seem to be spiraling around a single location.
Is it ash clouds or is it
You can't
more
tell.
just precipitation?
It
Okay,
is impossible to tell because this like an ash storm is usually wilder than this, but if it's ash clouds, it's difficult to say.
I see.
okay. Can we tell where the location it's concentrated upon is?
Oh yes, it's actually quite easy, because you stick your head out the window, you see the sun outside in the distance, of course, because there's clouds here. Um, you will go to another window and look out, and you see that a lot of guards and people are kind of panicking because far off in the distance is a massive monstrosity taking slow steps towards the village, firing big beams of energy at the landscape, tearing it apart.
Well, good thing we stayed the night and it didn't step on us
Oh,
while
it's
we
in the
were
direction you
resting.
were planning to go, so if you had stayed the night, you probably would have seen it earlier.
Hmm.
If you hadn't
Fair
stayed
enough.
the night.
Oh, okay then.
Fair
Uh,
enough. Is it possible to discern what creature this is from this kind of distance?
It is a large. It sort of reminds you of a horse, but its anatomy is very like bidirectional because it has two heads, one on each end. It has a lot
oh,
of strange shelves built into its legs and on its neck, It has spikes
built.
sticking out of its head, and it has two large horns on its head, and it has all kinds of spikes on its backside.
So it is a machine.
Nope, you have no clue what it is.
Is it possible for
So a horse-like
us?
amphispina.
It has four legs, yes, and has two heads. And from this distance, you can easily tell that it moves forward as easily as it moves backwards.
That is fascinating.
Its anatomy is very bidirectional.
How fast is it approaching town?
It's moving pretty slowly. Every 30 seconds, you hear a thump, and feel it vibrating through your body as it takes another step. It takes big steps though. Its beam doesn't quite reach the village yet, but if you wait too long,
I see. Well, they do have this thing. They have a field of steel, so they can relocate there and just build an entire city out of it.
I don't know, man.
It will be very hard to break into.
I guess that's true.
No, I mean there is enough material to just build a giant town, just entirely out of steel.
It requires that they survive this encounter to begin with. You have no clue what this thing does or what it's able to see.
Well, is it possible for the mage to tell what it is?
Go ahead, roll me a knowledge arcana.
1
Or
second.
just arcana, actually. They got rid of knowledge.
Yeah, it's just Arcana. Why am I rolling with advantage? Just regular.
There's a button at the top you probably pressed.
Yes,
I need to open your character sheets now that I think about it.
sure.
Boop,
There's
doop,
two of
doop.
them.
There we go. Now I've got
There
them
you
all
go.
open so I can see them on a moment's notice. Mage has no clue. He's never seen this thing before. The best he can theorize is that it's some sort of alchemical construct. But even then, he's not certain.
But will I figure something about this thing?
Go ahead.
Technically, the ranger is a bunny quote.
So since you've actually, like, your character has fought in the war, like you've been at the front lines, and like the mage who was sitting nice far away from things, this thing kind of reminds you of large like battle golems that were used, like massive destroying devices, but it doesn't look like one at the same time. Like those
Oh.
things were less organic looking.
Yeah. This is really weird.
You do know that those things were nearly indestructible, save for a few magical nexus on their body. Or nexi. I don't know what it is. Nexuses.
Shadow of Colossus, huh? So,
Alright.
from what we have seen so far, we can say that it is either an actual war machine that was awoken, either by accident or intentionally, or it is a post-war recreation of one,
Could
either,
be.
once again, intentionally, or by accident being set loose.
It could be a random mutation. It's just gonna move really wild.
I mean, who knows with all this random ash magic going around.
But
Pretty much, yes.
in what direction was this thing?
It is in the northeastern direction, like towards the rune you were planning to go, like it's coming from that direction.
Alright, let's go and kill it.
I don't think we have the capability to do so. Does the village have any sort of like ballista or
Nope.
something like that? Heavier weapon?
Oh,
see.
What? Well, if it is anything like the war machines they used back in the war, then it might have some weak points on it if we take a closer look.
Okay, I'm
That
gonna let you
sounds
roll
fair.
again for the mage, Boyga, because the mage does
Mhm.
know of those machines.
The Arcana again?
Yeah.
Alright, let's see how it goes. Still
You
close.
can collaborate though that those machines did have like weak points that if you were to strike them, even with just physical weaponry, would cause them to sort of short circuit.
Perhaps it's
But they
just
were
not
usually in
his-
places you weren't necessarily conventionally going to reach.
Yeah, we'll have to do some climbing, sure, but come on, it will be glorious if we take that thing down.
Yeah,
give
well,
you-
it will be doubly glorious if we actually survive this, but yes.
I mean, you're heroes. Be heroes.
I don't see why not, yes. Big down heroes.
Yep,
Well, in
let's.
that case, I would probably advise the village to at least consider some sort of evacuation.
Oh, you don't have to tell them that. They're already doing that. Like, a lot of people are
Good.
packing their shit.
That's good. That's sensible because most people don't.
I mean, if you hear a rumble and you wake up to a rumble and you look outside and there's a giant storm and there's a thing at the center that's moving towards you shooting laser beams, you're not going to sit
Yes.
still.
Yes, and you would also not rebuild in the same spot, although pretty much everybody does that.
Okay.
Okay,
Hey,
as
let's
my.
build.
Hmm?
Sorry. Let's build a town in at the foot of an active volcano and then wonder why is there lava in the living room.
Belmore, you were saying something?
Yes.
Have I received any visions from my patron regarding this thing? Maybe.
Kind of. Your patron has sent you a vision in the
Hmm.
form of a weapon that you know what it is. It sent you there's a special kind of crystal that can be used, that is specifically kind of useful against ashen creatures. You have a vision of that.
Oh,
While you were sleeping, like shortly before you woke up, you had this brief flash of such a tool.
oh. I had a vision or dream or something about a crystal that is useful against ashen creatures. If this thing is one of those, is one that could be useful. Have you heard of such a thing? Or where they might
Such tools
be?
are not uncommon. Watchmen usually have them, and this village did have a watchman on duty who has probably been deployed to take care of this thing.
Ah,
Okay, in
yeah,
that case,
that's good.
yeah, that seems reasonable. If we head over, we should be on the lookout for the group from of what, or at least a group accompanying the watchman.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You are offered a ride if you are going to go there. Like, they still
Sure.
have some horses. Oh, they got rid
Yep.
of ride as a skill. Huh.
I wonder if they actually still use actual horses, or if it's something a little bit different.
Maybe. Maybe they have large Komodo dragons here.
Maybe.
Like
Giant.
scamper boys.
That would be neat.
No, but the horses could be found in the wild, and generally pastures were far enough away from the city, so
Hmm.
Fair enough.
they are special though. So you're more likely to see
Well,
someone riding a drake.
I can always make the horses weird.
Well, they are weird. I mean, they were affected by ash. They were so close to cities.
Hmm.
So some of them have like scales. Others have like vestigial wings sticking out.
That's like in my game. I just gave the whole gave the whole horses in the local area dog mouths.
Regardless, you might want to start doing some things.
Ah
Yes.
yes.
We need to look
Uh,
for the watchman.
Okay.
and
How do you
hmm.
plan to do that?
How common is that crystal of material?
It's not uncommon enough that they can't like give every watchman at least a weapon made of it.
Hmm.
Like
Alright.
it's the problem with the crystal is that if you use it too much or you don't like clean it properly, it eventually becomes corrupted with ash.
Hmm. Right. Yeah.
It's about as common as quartz. Like you can find it all over the place if you know where to look.
Okay. Could I maybe source some piece of it just in case? I don't know. Jack-sized shard.
Um, well, the village doesn't necessarily deal in it because they haven't had that many ash. Well, they had the ash problem, and well, there are always the goblin merchants you can try. They got lots of shit on them.
Hmm.
Although they are planning to pack up and leave.
Uh, okay, I'll have a quick chat with the goblin merchants, see if they have any crystal weapons.
Oh, they do. They have a very nice looking short sword.
Oh,
Extra
how
stabbing potential.
yes. how much are you asking for it?
He looks you over real fast. 50
50 what?
gold.
All right, sold.
You now have a clear crystal short sword.
And of course, probably no backseas if it's not long enough to reach to the... That is fair enough. Is it more of a weapon or is it more of an item?
Well, it is a weapon.
Hmm.
Like it's sturdy as steel. Click click.
Hmm.
Let me look that up because this is based on an existing crystal, so I can just for shits and giggles tell you if it's stronger than steel.
Go ahead.
It's a pinch weaker than steel, but that's about it.
All right. Then in that case, let's get the local non-horses and proceed towards the creature.
Hehe.
Yep.
You get on a horse. You got a weird one. Well, this one looks more like a yak than a horse, and the other one has fins sticking out of its mane instead of having a mane.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's funky.
Don't suppose that weirds us out as characters, but it certainly does weird me as a player.
That's a neat picture. I like that. Okay, you head off, I assume.
Yes.
Yep, the mount our weird non-horses and right away at the good Gohira.
Along the way, you can't help but notice a lot of craters, and some of those craters contain bits of horse and bits of people.
Hmm.
Ouch.
Yeah, very ouch. As you get closer, the creature starts to turn its head towards you. What are you going to do?
Scatter.
Yep,
If we're not close to each other, then one of us at least will survive.
yep. Scatter, avoid the laser beams.
Okay. Just scatter. But as you scatter, it does still fire at one of you. Can I get a reflex check from Como? A reflex
course.
save. Dexterity save, I mean. Whoops.
Dexterity? Sure.
Yes. Jesus. The creature fires at you, but you're way too slick. You're too smooth and groove. And just weave your way right to it. Going faster than before. You arrive ahead of Shady, even.
Oh.
You just go start charging straight through. You know, on Shadow Colossus, there's the final boss that's just a turret that shoots a lot of laser beams at you. You're basically doing the speedrun tactic. Where you just say, I don't need cover, I'm just gonna fucking roll for it. You do dodge rolls with your horse.
Dodge rolls on a horse.
Get him, boy.
Yeah.
You are now near the creature's legs. It seems unable to fire its beams at you since you're way close, but now you can see that it has a weird, like, small head and has large, like, stone braids hanging from it. You can't jump on the braids; they're not long enough, but you can jump on the legs, which have look like discs, have lots of disc shapes on it.
Hmm.
Is it possible for Boyga to climb it?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to climb. It's like climbing a ladder, except it's moving.
Yep.
Do I need to make a check if I manage to hold on?
Oh, it's pretty easy to hold on. The actual climbing is the problem.
Fair enough.
Yep. When I get there, I'll also get to climbing.
What leg are you going to climb?
Catch claws. Well, what happens to be the closest?
Probably one of the front legs. Hello, Beer Force. Someone has joined us in the chat. You climb. You are gonna both climb the same leg, or are you gonna? Because you scattered, I assume that you're both on different sides now.
Hmm. Yeah. Let's say I took the left leg then.
Okay, you're on the left leg. Como is on the right leg. I want you to both roll me an athletics check. if you wish.
Alright.
Actually, don't you have a climb speed because you're a tabaxi?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do this flawlessly then. You're basically unhindered by this. Como, however, also does pretty damn well and manages to scamper right up. You notice that just above the knee is a much larger version of the disc, and it takes a bit of work, but you manage to climb right on. Its front legs are starting to move now.
Mm.
You also lose a point of stamina for attempting to climb this thing as it moves around ever so slightly.
Okay.
Now I get to roll the fun stuff.
Go ahead.
I've got a fun table. Okay, how does this work again? Okay. Actually, I need to make that a GM roll. It rolls... Ooh. Its legs are starting to move. As I said before, but now it's significant enough that the both of you are going to have some issue climbing up on your next round.
Is it aware of our presence?
It is... You don't know. It just seems to be continuously moving forward.
Hmm.
It has not displayed like any particular intelligence so far.
Well, we will be like ticks to it.
You could shoot an arrow at it and it would just bounce off.
Mm.
The tabaxi.
Okay.
I need you to also roll me the leg check because it's your leg that's moving.
Okay. Athletics.
Okay, the both of you make it. You're okay. Como, can you roll me to athletics too, real fast?
Dexterity?
Athletics.
Yes, of course.
Okay, the two of you are now on its back. Good for you.
Ooh.
You both lose another 2 points of stamina for climbing up here. You can't help but notice that it must be aware of you as it lets out a strange echoing cry, and the spikes on its back are starting to flare up with electricity.
Ooh.
You can try to brace yourself to hold on, but if you do that, whatever those lightning spikes are going to do is going to be a little more difficult to deal with.
And the alternative?
So
Jump
what are you going
off?
to do?
Brace for impact.
Excellent. Okay, then I need you both to roll me a dexterity save with disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Ouch. I fall off.
No, this is not to fall off. You are braced. You lose 2 points of stamina, but... Okay, Belmore takes half damage. Como does not. You suddenly see a zap sparking off the tower towards you. You notice that just before it fires, there's like a small electric current right below you. Like you can sort of see where the spikes are aiming at.
Oh.
Huh.
Alright. Interesting.
Now, you are near the necks. The necks have segmented plates that are pretty easy to climb. They're easier than the legs, if only because they don't move as much. Like its head remains straight like a bird.
Alright. Have I seen any kind of well, glowing spots or
Not here,
lighting?
other than the lightning.
Right then. Well, I'll try to break towards the head then.
Roll me. No, you don't have to roll for this. But as you begin climbing, the creature is starting to shake.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Roll me another athletics check, or acrobatics if you prefer.
I can actually do both.
Ooh.
Suddenly it doesn't work. One moment. Click. There we go. It just rolled 3 times.
I don't know why it rolled 3 times. We'll go with your highest result. You seem to be rolling with disadvantage.
Yes, I fixed that.
Okay. Well, we'll
forgot
just go
to
with 13 then, because that's something you rolled twice.
Yes.
Unfortunately, as it begins to shake, even Shady with his ability to climb is unable to find a grip and starts rolling towards the edge. The wind is going through your hair. You feel the static current that you didn't feel before because you were probably wearing boots, and even if you weren't, the current wasn't a strong one. Now it's like scraping on your skin as you're rolling down.
Alright, I'll try to sink my claws into the hide to
Okay.
slow my fall.
Then give me a dexterity or acrobatics with advantage. Como, dexterity or acrobatics, whichever you think works best.
Uh, so, well, that's
Unless Como has
same.
a way he wants to get advantage out of the situation.
Specify.
That's up to you.
Hmm.
Numenera rules.
Is it possible for me to use the momentum to swing upwards and land at its back?
You are rolling towards the ledge, up to its side.
Ah, so we're already up. I thought we were still on the legs.
No, you were up. That's why you got
Hmm.
zapped by the back spikes.
Well, is it possible for me to use any of my weapons to actually anchor myself?
Here's the thing, Como. Your character has like a
Hmm.
split second to react, so you have to tell me if you think it's going to work.
Fair enough. I
Your
would like
character
to
does
use
not
one of
get the
my
time to
swords.
rationalize his actions.
I would like to use one of my swords to stab it
Roll me an
and
attack
hold
roll.
on to that. 1 second.
Nope.
Nope.
Just roll me a regular on. Shady, as you roll and roll and tumble, you whoop grab onto the stony ledge that the furry back has, and you're holding on pretty tight. Como, please your dexterity or acrobatics save, whichever is higher.
Click.
You're fine. Whereas Shady rolled back a short distance, you managed to grab onto one of the spikes itself and are holding on tight. You hear the howling wind around you, and for a moment, you are very sensitive to the fact that you are A, very high up, and B, the spike you're holding onto is starting to charge up electrically.
Uh-oh.
You notice that directly below you, there's a bunch of lightning. What do you do? Like it's starting to make a connection.
Is it possible for me to change the grip and either move away without falling off or grab a different spike?
The spikes are pretty far apart. Like there's only like 5 of them, like one above each of the shoulders, and then one straight in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And you're holding onto one on the right side.
So it's like Tesla coils.
Yes.
Uh,
Shady, you managed to climb on with these at this point. Like the spike can't target you because you're hanging off the ledge.
yeah, you.
But with that,
Okay.
Como, what do you plan to do? Like just give me a Numenarian excuse.
No matter excuse, I'm gonna use my acrobatics.
Okay.
No, wait. My athletics to push myself away or pull myself away from the discharge.
Go. Okay. You give yourself a big firm tug, and just as the zap lands, you're right out of the way. The both of you are standing on the back once more. The creature does not seem to be paying attention. Like it's not. You don't feel that anticipation for a shake.
I see.
Okay.
Also, I want a. What do I want out of you? I want something out of Shady because he's a spellcaster.
Alright.
How about you roll me a. Well, let's just say a spell attack, like your magical ability.
Uh, okay. Like Arcana? Or,
Well, your spell attacks. Just go to spells and or yeah, roll on a 5, +5. Just d20 +5. That's your spell attack.
uh,
This is basically your innate ability to detect and sense magic. Aw.
well,
You sense that this
well-
thing sure is magical.
well, I do have Eldritch Scythe. I can just
Ooh, what does that
detect
do?
magic. Detect magic at will.
Okay. You're gonna use that. You're gonna spend your round doing that. Or Komu does something else. Or so. I mean, Boiga does something else.
Well, it's an at
Well,
will.
the
like,
mage just. Sorry.
it's at will, so I kind of thought it's like on constantly.
It still takes an action to cast, though.
Yeah, but it lasts for 10 minutes, so I can just activate it every 10 minutes.
Okay. We'll just say that you blasted it beforehand.
Yeah.
But you do notice that you do sense the creature's magic. Like it's looking at something's veins. It's kind of gross, actually. But a particular detail you notice is that there are like strong connections of energy right at the top of its head. It's kind of
Okay.
blinding, actually. It's like looking at a lighthouse.
Okay. I think I located a weak spot.
There's one on each head, actually.
Hmm. There's a spot on the top of its on the top of both of its heads. Think if we jam something sharp into them, it should do damage. Also, since we're really close to the thing now, can we make some guesses as to its origin? Is it a ash creature or something
It's
from the
it's
war?
not like the machines you remember. The machines you remember are like made out of mostly made out of steel, and this thing has like fur on it. It has patches of rock. You get the strange sense that it's somehow constructed out of ash, though, as it has a strange sparkle to the rocky bits.
Hmm.
Huh. Probably another one of those fanatics
Hmm.
with an actual engineering degree.
So, your move.
Yes.
Como, you can climb up in the round that the other guy was busy with his detect magic, so
Yes.
the neck is pretty easy to climb. It's almost like there's a ladder.
Huh. That's interesting. So it's both organic and mechanical in nature.
Well, organic and inorganic in nature is a better way to put it. You've not seen like cogs or anything.
Well, that's true enough, but the cogs don't necessarily need to exist to be present in a magical construct.
Yep, but
Technically, Boiga is quote unquote alchemical construct, and she doesn't have any cogs.
just roll me athletics as you climb up the front neck.
Sure. Click. Ouch.
You don't find a good grip, and your hand gets smushed between one of the platings as its head slightly moves.
Hmm.
Any fractures?
It hurts a lot. You're going to take disadvantage on your next few climbing checks.
Oh no.
It's not
Okay,
even a hard check, by the way. It was a 10. So that's on you.
Yes. Yes. She got distracted.
You can spend an action to try and sort of correct your hand so that you lose the disadvantage. But in the meantime,
Please,
Shady
let's
also
do
gets his
that.
turn as we have
yep,
cycled around.
I'm trying to climb up the other head, I guess.
Okay, you're going to climb up the back head.
Yeah.
Who holds the crystal sword, by the way? Shady?
Shady has bought the crystal sword. He owns it.
Yeah, I bought the sword and
I mean, you
taking it
don't
over.
know if you necessarily need it, but
It's just in case.
you climb up you run over because you're pretty damn fast. So you just go past the spikes. I need you both to roll me another dexterity save.
Oh heck. Oh no. Also disadvantage.
You both
So I
take
guess
1 point of damage as you get like the piddliest shock.
Hmm.
Huh.
Actually, it makes you forget the pain in your hand, so that's nice.
Oh, how does resistance work?
Resistance I think halves damage again, but since you took 1 damage, rolled half, and then got half again, you'd take nothing, I'd say.
Okay, cool. Since I'm now resistant to lightning damage for the day.
Radical. Okay, if you make it there, you're like a third up. If you really push it, you can make it to the head in this next round. What are you gonna do,
Yep.
Como? You're still stuck on you.
I've spent an action to fix the position of my hands to not get hurt
Okay.
and get rid of the disadvantage.
You kind of wrap your hand in some bandages and give it a big rub, and it feels good. You can manage. You're a hero. You can climb,
Yes.
even though like you feel a bit sparkly from all that lightning going through you.
Yes.
Shady, what are you gonna do? You're 1/3 up the neck. This back creature doesn't seem to be doing much. Like it's very much existence, but not doing anything. Probably because it has nothing to aim at.
Hmm. Okay, well, I'll try scrambling up as fast as I can.
You can make it there in 1 round, but you'd have to roll me an athletics or acrobatics check to make it.
Let's try acrobat.
Ooh. You scramble and scramble and scramble, and you're on its head. You're standing between 2 large stone-like pillars that are sticking out the top. And down the center, you can see the faint glow of some sort of magical glyph.
Alright. I pull out the crystal sword and jam it in.
There's fur everywhere, by the way, so you could easily brace yourself if need be.
Hmm.
The
A
wind is
quick
howling
question,
around you.
Were we instructed on
Hmm?
how to use such a crystal?
It's a weapon. You hit things with it.
Yes, but specifically in relation to this creature.
No. The goblins have
No.
no fucking clue how this thing works.
So
Yeah.
we just stab. Okay. Well, fair enough.
I just know that they are effective against ash thing, ash creatures, and yeah, just going
Okay.
for it.
Como, your move. You gonna start climbing up that front head?
Yes.
Roll me athletics.
Click. Oh
You
no.
make it up. You're halfway there by the time that the turn goes back around to Shady.
Yep,
Shady, you see the glyph in front of you. You got the dagger. You got the sword in your hand. The wind is around you. You feel you're very close to the clouds. Like this is not a very high storm. It seems to be pulling down towards the creature.
Yep, I
It
praise
is scary
myself,
high up here.
praise myself,
It is.
wind my sword arm up, and step down as hard as I can.
Okay. Are you just gonna stab it?
Yep, stab right at the glyph.
Okay. Well,
Or the
since you're
floating
basically
one.
stabbing a static target, all I need you to do is roll me damage.
Yep.
What would be the damage of it? Ah.
You suddenly, as the sword sinks in, at a certain point, you feel great resistance, and then your sword suddenly gets jammed back out. There is just shit flying all over the place, as if you just uncorked a geyser.
Yeah. Oh, high pressure.
You stumble a bit, but you manage to keep your footing. You notice that the pillars beside you have charged up with strange yellow energy. Roll me a dex save.
Both of us?
No, only him, because he's the only one near it. Okay, I got some bad news for you. You are blasted by two beams of strange radiant energy that just hit you in the chest, and you stumble back. You manage to keep your footing just on the head. Like you're one more step, and you would have tumbled all the way down. Whew. You can feel a tingle in your chest.
This wasn't electricity, I guess.
Nope, this was not electricity.
What? Well, we can discover what it was a little bit later once we're done with this.
I'll just
The-
tell you, it's force energy.
what is exactly what? Okay, what does
Force
it
is
do?
raw magical goobers,
So it's just raw magic.
essentially.
Makes sense for an ash creature. Okay, did our attack have any sort of effect on it?
Well, there's all kinds of strange goo and shit flying out of its head, like where he stabbed it. It
And that's
eventually
it? It
stops,
still
but it
moves?
was pretty violent. You also notice that the glyph has started to weaken a bit.
Do it again.
No, Como, it's your turn now.
Hmm.
Give me
Well-
another check to climb up there.
Of course. Click. Finally.
Yeah, I shout to Boyga, prepare. If when you stab the thing, it will start gushing pretty hard.
Yes, I do not have the crystal sword, however. I only have regular weapons.
Okay.
Eh,
So I'll be there close
You're there.
to you
You're up
to...
there. You can make your turn
Yes,
if you wish.
Well, I don't suppose actually stabbing it with regular weapons will do anything.
You have
because
no
my sword,
clue!
they bounced off. Fair enough. In that case, I would. Click. But I
Since
missed,
the head isn't
apparently.
moving and you're attacking a static target, it's really easy. Like you just go forward and go, and then
wow,
as your weapon
both
flies back out
Fair
again.
enough.
we both rolled minimum for damage.
Shady, do you warn Como of these things charging up?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Oh.
I saw that, and he just warned me, actually.
Dexterity
Yes.
with advantage, please.
Click, click.
You make it. Okay. You see the pillars charge up, but as Shady told you, you just whoosh, matrix dodge out of the way, the two beams scattering off into the distance. Basically like looking cross-eyed at someone. They go every which way. Shady, it's your turn once more. The mark is still there.
All right. Did I get the feeling that the crystal did anything special to this thing or not?
The crystal has a very odd glow to it now. It's very faint, but it's starting to get there. It's not the usual kind of glow that you would expect from a crystal from ash absorption.
All right.
Any effect on my swords?
Nope, your swords are fine. They're a bit
Alright.
like they're covered in goo, but that's it.
All right. That's slightly weird, but let's see if it does anything different this time, since it's glowing now.
Make a quick roll. Okay.
I brace for brace myself and stab it again.
Okay. The creature doesn't shake. Its head is still very still. So it's still an easy slim pickings. But as you stab it, the head starts to shake and shake and shake all over the place. The glyph is now very faint, and your weapon seems to be absorbing much of it. I need a dexterity saving throw, as the head is just shaking all over the place. I need it only from Shady, but sure.
Oh.
Shady! You tumble, and tumble. But as you fall, you latch on as fast as you can to one of the braids. You are now hanging off the side of its head.
Woohoo.
But hey, you don't take any damage. You didn't get shot by any bolts, so hey, you're fine. Could be worse.
Okay.
Combo,
Nice.
what are you gonna do?
Yes.
You're sitting there. You see the glyph. You don't know if it's weakening because you don't have magic sight, but hey, it did something. It made a big geyser appear for a minute.
It did, yes. In which case I will repeat the same attack once again. Quick question. Well, I don't suppose the characters would know that, and I will need to spend a turn switching around, but would attacking it with electricity make sense at all?
I don't know why that would make sense.
That's fair enough, in which case I'll just continue the attack. Click.
That's a good hit. You jam it in, scramble it around, and your weapon flies back up again. The sound is a high-pitched, like, sort of whistling noise. It's very annoying to hear. Wait, you're using curved swords. Are you slashing at it?
It's not necessary. Well, it does have a tip, so you can still shove it in.
Then yeah. Sorry, bub, but I got rules for if you don't use a piercing weapon.
Fair enough. In that case, I'll just slashing it.
Yep. You still managed to get a really deep cut, but unfortunately, it's now spraying at you. Can I please get a Constitution saving throw as it just covers you in ooze?
Yuck. Of course. Click. Wow.
Your eyes are covered in goo. You can't see. You have to wipe it off.
Oh no.
Which unfortunately means you do not get a dex saving throw. Another con save, please, as you get blasted with energy.
Click.
You take 6 damage. You are just hit with a big blast of force from to both sides. Your ears are ringing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The wind
There you
just
go.
turns into a feeling across your face.
Wind it down with these three.
Shady, you're hanging. If you climb quickly and
painful.
delicately, you might be able to get a stab in.
Okay. Since I'm hanging by the side, can I see the creature's eyes or anything
Yes.
from here?
The eyes are glowing red. They are big red orbs. They almost look like gemstones.
Oh.
I'll make a note of that and start climbing up.
You pull, and you pull, and with your special climbing claws of Katniss, you make it up there. I need an attack roll to make this hit, because you are on unstable ground as its head is still slightly moving.
Okay. Is my crystal sword glowing brighter?
It glowed brightly last time we stabbed it, so yes.
Alright, let's give it another go.
Okay, even though it's like shaking around, you make a diving stab, and then comes back out again. The mark is gone, and I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw real fast.
From both of us?
No, just from Shady.
Aha.
Shady, the head that you are standing on is starting to go limp and fall over.
Ooh.
You manage to just in time grab onto some of the fur, but your sword is falling down towards the ground.
We'll
You have to
do
pick
it
that up
again.
later.
Not too bad.
Just make a quick mental note. You got that special power to make mental notes, so.
I'll make a note where the sword falls.
It's called memory.
Como, you can do two things. You
Yes.
can try to make a disadvantage stab blindly, or you can try to wipe your eyes clean.
I am actually pretty decent at stabbing things or slashing things, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, I'm gonna try to repeat the same attacks with a disadvantage. Click.
Jesus. Well, you make both the attack, and you actually make the requirement I have for slashing weapons. So in that case, you go in. Is this a third attack on it, right?
I'm not entirely sure if there is a third attack.
No, no, no. I mean, have you attacked this sigil 3 times?
Uh, I personally have attacked it only twice. So
So this is your second time?
second time. This
You've
isn't
rolled.
my first rodeo,
You've attacked it.
says me.
You've attacked
I
it
think
2 times
was.
before.
I think
I
it's
attacked
the
it
third one.
once.
Why do I see then 2 attack rolls made by you before?
Because the other attack roll was for trying to actually hold on to the thing by using my weapons
Oh yeah.
on the
Oh.
back.
Okay. Well, a nice deep cut, and you make it. Your eyes clear out as a rush of air breezes across your face. The geyser doesn't just spit out goo, it seems. Good for you. Shady, you're hanging, and the head is limp. You notice that the braids are actually low enough that you could lower yourself to the ground if you really wanted to. Or you could try to climb up, although now it's very difficult to do so because the plates are going the wrong direction.
Okay. Actually, what I kind of wanted to do was, when I noticed the head starting to go limp, was to slide down the neck and
Okay.
try to.
Okay, I'll allow
Right,
that.
so-
I'll allow that. I'm just gonna need an acrobatics check to see how hard you can come on impact. Okay. You slide down. You stumble towards the end. Could have been a cleaner slide, but you know, next time you might do better. But you make it. You're fine. You're on the fur each section. The fur is very rugged now, just rubbing up against your face and your nose.
Oh,
Almost feels like dried grass.
yeah, this weird ass creature.
Como with a stabby sword. Como, your move.
Yes. I will have to repeat the same attack again, I suppose. Third time's the charm.
Seems to be so.
Click. Well, I'm still rolling at a disadvantage.
No, all that
But am I
matters here is
supposed
that
to?
you rolled. Nope. You strike it, but you can't seem to get deep enough. The creature is shaking around again. I'm gonna need an acrobatics check to try and contain yourself.
Okay. Click.
Okay. You're doing it swings its head around. You swing towards one of the horns. You grab on. You latch on, and when it swings back, you swing back yourself. Make me another attack roll as you go in for a second swing.
Click. I whiff it.
Yep. Another in deep cut. You notice that any attack you make, like, almost instantaneously heals the minute your steel leaves it. Shady, you're standing on the
Was
backside.
that just a quick clarification? Has it happened with the attacks that I've actually succeeded in?
With particularly deep cuts, there was a lot of gushing, and then eventually it grew over. But the gushing was pretty indicative that you did something.
I see.
Alright.
Is there any difference that I can see with the attacks made by the crystal sword?
No, because you weren't there to see it.
Oh.
Yeah,
The geyser was the same, from what you could tell.
I see.
Yeah, the other head is down. By the way, has that had an effect on the creature as a whole?
Well, the one head is down. The other head doesn't seem to care. You do notice that its hind legs are they're not moving as neatly as before. They're sort of slumping. You can feel at every step, sort of this.
Okay, I'll break to the other side.
Okay. If you want, you can give me an athletics check, and if you do that, then next round you can climb up and do an attack if you wish. Nope. You fall and stumble. You're at the neck, but could have been tidier. Could have been tidier.
Oof,
Which also means that this 1d6 is going to come without any saves because you are stumbling on the ground. But luckily you have resistance, so the lightning sort of clashes off your armor.
Alright.
2 damage.
Ow.
Como,
Man,
what are you doing?
Yes. I'm gonna attempt to do the proper attack instead of just whiffing it.
You gonna like
So-
line yourself up in any way? Oh,
Like,
well, doesn't
yes.
matter. That
Well, I'm
doesn't-
still holding on to the horn, so one hand.
No,
on
no,
that,
you release
and the
yourself
other-
to sort of swing yourself around.
Okay.
Not much happens. Like you just can't seem to get that sword in there. It would have helped
we
if
have-
you weren't trying to cut your way into deep flesh.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna need something a little bit pointy next time.
You have an arrow in your pocket in case you want to improvise.
That's actually a fair suggestion.
Shady.
We have Boyka kind of dancing around on the head, okay, slashing down.
dancing. He's like, doing some pretty slick moves, but at the same time, he's not doing anything. Shady, your move.
Oh yeah, I try to get up there and help with the
Athletics to see if you make it in one turn.
steppy slashing. Oop.
Oh,
Nice.
you're right up there. In fact, you launch yourself up at the final step. Give me a plunging attack.
Uh, I was yeah, I kind of think about calling a heavy crossbow out of thin air and shooting down.
Go.
Whoop, as I'm fl- flying there, I suddenly have this kind of shadowy big ass crossbow in my hands and thunk.
You fire a crossbow with tremendous speed right down at the target. Wow, it doesn't even mention that it has rolled a 10 on that roll. That's kind of sad. But you roll maximum damage. The bolt lodges itself in so deep that it actually vanishes under the skin. And then suddenly, the glyph is starting to fade as the creature's head is starting to go limp.
Well, we'll be falling down from that height.
In fact, not just the head is going limp, like the body. It's also starting to disintegrate ever so slowly.
Ooh. Okay. Well, I'll try to swing down, swing down on one of the braids on its head and swing myself down.
Acrobatics,
Somewhat.
please, as you try to do this dangerous maneuver. What is Boyga gonna do?
Whoop.
I would probably want to. Yeah, I don't want to do anything silly. I'm gonna try to hold on to the horns.
You grab onto the horns. You wrap your arms around.
Yep.
Roll me a strength check.
And yes, the fur will probably absorb most of it, but no.
Right towards the end, you start to let go. The ash crashes down. Shady, who is already down there, is perfectly fine. He lands nice and tidy. But you are like you are bathing in a bath of ash, which is slowly starting to whirl itself up into a storm.
Uh-oh.
It is slowly gathering and gathering and gathering into a single point.
A single point, like a singularity?
Sort of.
Oh shit, it's gonna explode probably.
Can you both
How far
roll
can I
me a
make it?
wisdom save?
Well,
Just him
it's
or
not gonna
both
help
of us.
much. Yeah, because the mage is out.
Do I also roll a wisdom
Yes.
save?
Como, you take 8 points of damage. Shady, you take 4 points of damage. As a blast of psychic energy waves across the land, and the concentration turns into a single. This is a pretty massive pearl that lands on the ground and hovers slightly above it.
Oh,
A pearl.
Yep, it's a pearl with swirly dark energy inside of it, having a weird flamey aura around it.
okay. Can I make any kind of guess as to what that is?
It's very nice looking, is what it is.
Well, it's sure, but is it possible for us to identify if it's a pearl of power?
It is way too big to be a pearl of power. It is something more
I mean-
powerful than that.
Okay, it's a big pearl of power. Okay.
It's also hovering above the ground.
So, how big was this thing?
Imagine like your fist, and then 4 of them. It's pretty sizable.
All right.
So the
Damn it.
orb from Lord of the Rings, then.
Nope. I don't know what that is. If you have a picture to show me, I could verify.
Yes.
Oh, a palantir?
Yeah.
I don't think they were that big.
It doesn't matter. It matters that if the look is similar enough, at least you know what the size is going to be like. Oh,
I
cool.
think
Someone
I-
updated the things to be like, today, Shadowrun. That's nice.
Click.
That's actually pretty close to what I was imagining. Only it's like dark, swirling, purpley energy. Although it's actually a rainbow color now. Ooh. This thing is pretty.
So, like this then?
Uh, I'll try to approach it slowly.
Ah, kinda. Kinda. You approach the orb.
I keep my distance.
You are near the orb. It doesn't seem to do anything, it just sits there.
Okay then. Uh, I pull out my staff and poke it.
How gently are you poking it?
Very.
You give it a little poke. Even though you poke it ever so gently, there's a big crack that appears on it, which quickly heals back up.
Wow.
Okay, it's kind of sensitive, but self-repairing.
The nobles will pay a fortune.
Interesting.
Unless we find a way to use it ourselves.
Oh, did anything happen to my staff?
Nope. Your staff's just a staff.
Okay.
So, the moment you touch it, it just kind of cracks and breaks, and then it just restores itself.
No, there's just a crack, and then the crack disappears.
Oh.
Imagine like a
Oh, you
video
mean
game
like-
effect, where it sort of loads in the bump map and then loads it back out again.
Oh, fair
Okay,
enough.
I'll try with the staff again. This time, kind of pushing at it slowly.
You push at it, and since you're not poking it, it just kind of rolls along the terrain features. It hovers above the ground, but it moves the sand below it around as if it has a bigger size. So it has a sort of repulsion field around it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it? Wow.
You still
Okay,
standing at a
I'll-
distance, Como, or are you like, I want to see?
I'm actually pretty freaking excited, so yes, I would probably approach it cautiously.
You have approached cautiously. You are both standing like a couple of feet away from it.
I would probably call in the assistance of the major, at least inquire on him on whether or not he recognizes
Go.
this. Would that be the Arcana?
Yeah, sure. This is an orb of mythic power. It is essentially what happens if you like. This is something that has been theorized about. It is not something people know, but there's a theory that if you take ash and you do something special with it, you can turn ash into a stable form, which is essentially mythic power. It is very difficult
Is
to
it-
explain. It is all just speculation, but here's one.
So it's an impossible object that we just managed to create somehow.
Yeah.
It's a giant jawbreaker.
Basically. Don't eat it though.
Well, I don't know. Can I lick it?
I'm
If you want to lick it, go ahead.
trying to like put my hand on it, maybe
Are you doing these
Poking
things
the-
both at once?
anything.
So Komo's licking it, Boyga's licking it, and Shady is just kind of
Yes.
poking it.
Yeah, fine.
This is probably gonna end up horribly, but yes.
You touch the orb together. The orb lights up. Shady, you feel as if you are touching every texture at once. It feels like the slickness of polished rubber. It feels like the roughness of like an animal's hide. It's got that smoothness of a soft puppy's fur. Como, you taste everything. You taste chocolate. You taste cherries. You taste wood. It's like emptying a box of all flavors jelly beans into your mouth.
Probably
The
a
orb
bunch of
glows and
disgusting
glows and then
flavors as well.
explodes.
Oh no.
Oh. Yeah. What?
Your veins are glowing with a strange energy, both of you.
I'm
Uh,
dead.
Have either of you watched Passion's YouTube channel?
Go ahead.
Say again?
Passions.
I'd have, yes.
I don't
Uh,
think I have.
one of the challenge things, or I'm not exactly what it was, but they took it like the
Oh.
losing thing was well, they took those bean boozled the jelly beans, the horrible tasting ones, and boiled them down into this
Oh my god.
taste good.
Oh my god. That sounds terrible.
It was.
That sounds like murder.
Ooh.
No, magical orb exploded in our face. Well, in my face, really.
You look at your hands and they're like glowing with strange energies.
Oh no.
You are feeling incredible, actually.
Well, we probably got like ash cancer at this point, so are there
No, because
any
this
apparent?
stuff, your mage knows that it's like a stable form of ash.
I see, so it's just straight up magic. Okay.
It's straight up raw but controlled and somehow concentrated magic. It's like sipping an
Okay.
energy drink at 1 a.m.
So
So it accelerates my heart rate and does nothing to my sleepiness? I'm sorry.
You both get
so
access to Mythic Surge.
oh,
Oh,
You get 2 uses of it per day. What it essentially does is you can add 1d6, or you can re-roll any roll you like.
uh-huh. So it's basically like ugh, I forgot the name of it. Something something luck.
Yep, pretty close.
Luck, luck of the Irish, I guess.
However, you can only re-roll when it's below a 5.
I see. So it's close to a fail or a critical failure.
Yep, but it's dependent on the roll. Not like if you have like a +5 modifier, you can still use it if you roll like a 4.
Well, it just uses the base.
So twice per day, you can call upon this immense power within you and unleash it, changing the very reality of world itself to allow you to succeed.
That is interesting. What was again the other?
You can do two things. You can re-roll below 5 or 5 or below,
Right.
or you can roll a 1d6 and add that to your result.
I see.
So you can basically roll pretty high with this if you get lucky.
So if you're close to a critical hit, you can make it a critical hit.
I'll allow it,
That's fair enough.
but only twice per day, as in per day, not
Yes.
per long rest.
Yes. Per 24 hours.
But with this all done, I'm sure that someone here wants to pick up his weapon again.
Yes, your sword, and I point towards the glowing thing in the distance.
Oh, it's actually glowing. Like there's just a
Remember.
it's like pretty bright.
yeah, I'll go and fetch my sword back.
The sword is glowing with a strange energy. And as you hold it up, it starts to reflect in weird ways, as if trying to bend light towards something.
It's a prism sword. We need to play Smoke on the Water for this.
Nice.
To save you the trouble, this thing can essentially point out where a nexus is, of magic at least.
The Nexus.
A nexus, like a ley line or like particular energy knots on a golem, that kind of stuff.
Oh, I see. So it's not just any particular place like a compass,
No, it points
but more
towards
like
basically the nearest, like, well, to
how
where
does
you're
it
aiming it at.
how does it point towards? It changes intensity as you point it at things,
Oh no,
or
it works by holding it up in the light, in like sunlight, and then bends several beams of light towards it like a prism.
I was thinking like it would pull slightly towards it. But that works too. That's kind of neat.
It's better for long range because if you ever find another one of these, you want something that works at a distance.
Yes, that makes
Oh,
sense. Yes.
all right. Well, I just basically wrote in in my treasure box that the clear crystal sword works like the sword in Shadow of the Colossus, because that's the
That's basically what it does. Yes.
easiest way to remember for me to remember it. Cool.
Guiding. Ooh, that's a nice word for it.
Yep. So
Isn't a short sword a finesse weapon?
I'm pretty sure it's still martial.
yeah, it's finesse. It just changed back to strength when I changed the name.
How
Huh.
dumb. How dumb. There we go. Now
Yeah.
it does the appropriate amount of ow wow wow. But you feel
So
amazing. You just defeated something that is like several buildings tall. So
I'm not bleeding, but I'm actually feeling kind of crap because I've lost 2/3 of my health.
yeah, you're pretty out of it. You might want to bond yourself with that healing stick.
Yes, I'm just gonna. One moment. I have the perfect thing for this.
Oh God.
What?
What is your plan?
I always have the thing. I'm gonna hit myself with a stick, but in a very particular way.
In what particular way?
I will show you in a second.
Oh my god. He's got to pull up a picture. Yeah.
It's not a picture. It's more than just a picture. But I do need to save it first because it's not paste itself for some reason. Click.
Yeah. Shady's feeling very stoked.
Oh no, it's too big, but basically, click this.
Oh, that's great. Bonks himself on the noggin.
Pretty much. That's how it
Bonk.
heals. The harder you hit, the better it heals.
That's great. That's so great. Okay, so how many charges of Cure Light Wound are you going to use?
It's 1d8 per, right?
It's 1d8 per charge used, plus spellcasting modifier.
And it's got 10 charges, but I'll need to charge it again later on. In which case, I'll probably use... Wait a second. Can we move back to the town and just kind of have a rest? Because there are no physical injuries on me.
Sure, you can go back to town if you want.
Well, yes, we'll
They'll have a
probably
lot of
delay.
questions. Like, what the hell
Yes,
just
they'll-
happened? You also notice that the storm overhead is clearing up.
Nice.
That's good. I was starting to wonder what's up with that. But
Oh, couple of things first.
Yes.
Has my sword been otherwise, my crystal sword been otherwise enchanted?
Well, not really. I mean, there's some strange
Oh.
magical energy in it, but you don't know how to coax it out.
one moment.
In the meantime, I'm going to look some things up.
Cool. And is there? Has the giant body disintegrated completely, or is there still a corpse around?
There's nothing left of it. Like,
Oh.
everything got sucked into that small pearl.
Oh, okay.
Were you open to find those big ruby eyes?
Kind of, yeah. But the glowing ball of mythic energy is a pretty good.
You know what? I'll allow you to
Oh,
look
something
around.
getting
Give me a
surprised.
perception check.
Perception.
Where's the staff of healing? Perception.
Oh.
Nope. If it is there, you can't seem to find it. It's just kind of feel over. You're like that lady in Scooby Doo without her glasses, like going across the ground, going, "Where is it?" They
Yeah,
were
I
so
guess-
big and sparkly.
I guess if I were to use my detect magic, I would just get blinded by the orb.
Sorry about that. It was
Well, the pearl was gone, so
telemarket spam.
bah.
Ugh.
Well, I'll allow you another perception check if you use detect magic.
Yep, I'll try to. Yeah. Okay.
The mage
Okay,
is still around. Should he use it?
Okay, you managed to find one of them, and it is massive. It is as big as you remember it.
Noise.
You can get
Wait a second. What are we looking for?
He's looking for He's looking for the eyes that he saw inside the creature. But now that you
Ah.
hold it, it looks very clear. It kind of reminds you of quartz or diamond.
So it's just wait. Is it faceted or is it just round?
It is round, slick and
So it's not-
smooth as it gets.
So it's
Ah.
not cut like a gem. Okay.
How big are we talking here?
Big as your head. Good luck finding a buyer.
Ooh.
What I mean, good luck by finding it, but
Because this thing is a massive diamond, the size of your head, and perfectly smooth.
just jab it into the make the statue eyes out of those.
How much does this thing weigh?
I don't know how much a diamond weighs according to volume, but probably a couple of
Let me-
pounds at
let
least.
me calculate.
Oh, great. Como goes for it.
So it's a giant red diamond.
Just pretty big.
Nice.
It's round. Measure the diamond's length. It is in millimeters. So larger than I had, so at least 20 centimeters, so that would be 200 millimeters. 200 millimeters in width and height. Calculate. 488,000 carats, and that's weight. And let's see in kilograms.
Carrots.
Carats or carats.
In
I don't know how
carats.
to pronounce carats. In kilogram. Well, each of each of we each of these weighs 1 centner, 97 kilograms, and in pounds that would be 97 kg in LBS. It is two. Wait, what? 213 pounds each.
You found one. And this thing, you're going to have to roll it home.
Either that or just mark it and then.
Or put it on the horse. You got a horse?
Well, the horses are probably very far away, unless we like whistle and it just literally shows up out.
They're not
out
aggro.
Of,
They don't just
range.
phase out of the ground.
Maybe they do.
Okay.
I'll let you make a luck roll to see if it works if you really want to try it.
That would be just a roll 20, right?
Yes.
Okay then.
Can I try to?
Yeah. What?
No.
Can I try to whistle for my horse?
Go.
1d20.
I whistled and mine ran away even further than it was before.
Shady, you whistle for your horse and you suddenly hear knee behind you.
Oh. Ah, good boy.
There he is. It's the hairy horse that Como was riding on.
Oh. Okay. I was hoping it was for Gilliman, but okay.
But hey, at least you don't have to roll this orb back.
Yep. I slowly lift it.
I imagine
you
the
can
two
lift
of you.
100 kilograms.
Can you both give me a strength check, please, to see if you're going to
Yes.
break your back doing this?
I just lifted with one hand.
Como does it with ease. He doesn't even try.
Eh,
He does most of the lifting for you. But hey, you managed to load up onto the horse, so there's that.
Yay.
Wow. Boyga has arms you can swing off probably with this kind of rolls.
He just flexes. He goes, "Oh, I can do this."
Yes.
Hilarious.
Oof. That was something.
Yep, that was something.
Oh, that was a strength save. Okay. Okay.
Oh, Como, you rolled a strength save. Well, whatever, you still rolled a 20, so you still did great.
How would I roll just strength then? Oh,
Click
right,
strength.
because I need to click on this one. Yeah. I clicked on the wrong one.
Yeah, it's not terribly obvious. Can I click on the ability names?
I wonder if this...
Hmm?
Oh, no, it doesn't really matter, does it, for this one?
Yep.
Oh, well.
Is something wrong?
No, I'm just looking some stuff up.
I see.
So what was it, like 70 something kilograms?
Yes.
97 kilograms.
Or 213
each.
pounds.
It's about the weight of one adult person. Slightly
Yeah.
overweight or very tall. thin
Man,
person.
diamonds are dense.
Yeah.
That's what you get when you're a molecular lettuce.
Yes.
Like molecular letters.
Also, me ruining things with physics. It's like, hey, it's a diamond and it's giant, but it weighs like a centner. It's like that puzzle from the first DLC from Fallout New Vegas. You go into the vault, and a trap is activated, and you have about a minute to get out. And there's literally piles of golden ingots, but you can only carry so many. So it's your choice. Either you get greedy and you end up with all this treasure locked inside the vault forever, or you escape with a couple bars, maybe.
Nice.
And nobody to buy them because they
Cool.
cost too much.
Anyway,
Yep.
We will probably head to the village. Also, we lost the horse. I lost my horse.
It probably went back to the village when it was like, oh no, I'm scared.
Maybe. Or maybe it's still
Well,
running around there.
well, no, we lost my horse.
I
It's
lost your horse, yes, and you found mine. The fluffy one. The one from the picture.
yep.
So as you
Midways and
return,
upwards.
you've probably tied the diamond around the horse, and you can't
Mm.
ride it unfortunately because that's way too much for one horse to carry.
Yeah, I kind of.
A horse can technically carry two people?
Yeah,
Maybe,
but
but
yeah, but like now the weight is like concentrated into this one.
it's hanging off its side, Como, so it's like kind of struggling to hold up properly.
I see.
Yeah,
Well, you just tie me
weight
to
is.
the other side of the horse.
Okay. But you go back, it's easy enough. You see, everyone is staring in disbelief at what happened. Like, they eventually just saw geysers of strange stuff coming out of this creature. They saw people falling off and climbing back on again. Like, to the outside world, that was an action movie happening.
Hey, no big deal.
You see Grur, and besides him, you see a very old orcish lady who sort of
Yep.
squints.
The heroes have returned, and I pull out my crystal sword, glowing crystal sword.
Everyone is sort of like, incredible. There's lots of whispering going on. But of course, as one would expect, the goblin caravan is instantly like, ooh, diamond. Buying. You see them unpacking like items they don't usually put up on offer, like expensive stuff.
Yay.
So the lady comes towards you together with her mouthpiece, and Grur
Mhm.
goes, "How?"
Oh, it's not that difficult if you when you know what you're doing.
Shh. We can't tell them our
Trade
trade
secret.
secrets, otherwise we're gonna be out of business.
Oh my god. Go, oh my god.
Yeah.
Can't tell them our trade.
Yep.
I'm like standing next to the guys. They're staring at Shady, and I'm like behind their shoulders, just like no, no, whispering, no, waving my hands, not just a pillow.
Yep.
Well, I
This
mean, they
is
told us how to deal with these things,
Yeah.
right?
this
Did
is
it
why
say that
you
the
hire
crystals are? Oh,
professionals.
sorry. We totally could have died. We were not in control of the situation at all.
Yeah, but you can show that.
Also, they probably lost. We should probably inform them that their watchman that went there. We found
Oh.
like a crater with bits and pieces of a horse. So he's dead. Unless he's not dead, in which case you need to probably send out like a scout party to look for an injured person.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, we didn't really see your watchman while we were out there, so you might want to send a search party or something.
They nod, they nod. And the lady whispers to her mouthpiece to Grur, and Grur goes, "Well, you've done us such a great service. How could we possibly repay you?"
Bigger statue.
Big statue.
More statues, just in general.
Just
Now, honestly, I'm gonna settle with just infinite bed and breakfast. I don't care. I don't eat much, but I would love to have the service.
You are the protectors of our village, and you will be treated as such.
Yeah. But I'm currently half dead. No.
We
Well, I
understand.
mean,
We saw the explosion.
sure, but it's nice to help them, but ultimately, it would probably be not a very good idea to literally solve every problem for them. It's like, oh no, savior of the village, I cannot open this pickle jar. Could you help me?
You roll
And then you just go and like,
Shadyville. You can roll me persuasion to make that happen.
oh wait, I clicked the wrong one. There you go. It's like,
uh,
oh no, I probably need to hold it under like a stream of hot water.
Aw. No, they're like, no. I mean, no.
There you go. They're reasonable people. They don't want unreasonable requests.
They'll probably name a nice. They'll probably name like the square around the statue after you. Then
Yes.
That is acceptable.
you do hear them chanting, by the way. They're going like a shady steel singer because that's the name they know you by.
Oh heck. How
They
do
don't know
know
what
me
you did,
by-
so they're just like, and that guy.
What?
And Boyka helped too.
Give him
Yeah.
a pat in the back, like he helped too.
And that lizard lady thing.
He was there. She was there.
Was there. She was there. Yeah.
Moral support, very important.
Yeah.
Oh man, can you imagine like actually standing there and seeing someone just climb up, jump up into the air, and then crossbow this thing to death? Because that was what people saw. At least the guy with the telescope. You just, woo, woo.
The feats of acrobatics. I'm just I'm just a sidekick, you know.
Like
I'm not
acrobat-
wearing any spandex though. Just a
So,
very long coat.
The lady decides to offer you something else, which is that she will build a house for you if you wish.
Oh, thank you.
Like she herself, or is it?
No,
or
they,
is
they'll
she
they'll
gonna-
like put. You can pick a place close to the river, far from the river, near the woods, and they'll put down a house of reasonable size for you there.
Oh, near the woods. Thank you.
They'll put a statue right in front of it so that you can see your own statue every day.
It sounds more like a punishment rather than. You're gonna be staring at your own ugly mug every morning when you wake up.
So someone eventually starts shouting, "Boyga Giant Slayer." So you've earned yourself also a title.
Eh, that's good, but
What?
I'm literally 2/3 dead. Can I find a bed, please?
You know where the inn is, right? Do you need someone to carry
Yes,
you?
I'm just gonna. Well, I would love to, but no, I'm just gonna stumble there, and just kind of face
Okay.
plant onto the bed
Shady.
and wait an appropriate amount of time to recover.
Shady.
Yep.
The goblins. They come up to you and they go, "How much?"
Oh, how much do you have?
He waves his hand real quick, and his apprentice comes out, and the apprentice has like several javelins, several fancy gemstones in another hand, and a weird lantern. Like they got a lot to offer.
Ooh.
If there's a genie, that's gonna be weird.
It's not
What
that kind
does
of
the-
lantern, though. They do have an iron flask.
What does that lantern do?
This is a lantern of revealing. Anything invisible becomes visible.
Oh, well, that sounds useful.
These javelins, they turn into bolts of lightning when you throw them with the command word. These stones are
Oh.
Aeon stones. We got a very fine collection of those.
Ooh.
That is.
I am interested in those ones.
What do you want? Or perhaps you would like a gin in a bottle.
If it's a literal genie, but just no.
No,
I mean, it's fun, but
the
no.
creature in the iron flask is bound to your command and must then leave without taking revenge.
Wait,
That-
so
That
it's just a
that-
summon. Okay.
Yes?
that sounds intriguing, but I'll take a look at the Aeon stones first.
They have one that gives you a +1 bonus to AC, which is a protective stone. They got one that raises your charisma by 2. And
Interesting.
they have one that stops you from being surprised at any moment.
That.
Huh.
Oh wow! It just turns you into a cynic.
How much are these? How much are you asking for these stones?
Well, just the
Your gem.
just the diamond.
Like, they are trying to make a deal where you want to give up that big diamond. And they do look you in the eye going, you know that you're not going to sell that to anyone but us. So whatever we offer is reasonable. They also take out a somewhat more, like, they're taking this out reluctantly. An Aeon stone that means you don't have to eat or drink while having it with you. And one
Eh,
that only works for an hour a day, but means you don't have to breathe.
interesting. Well,
Wait a second. If you don't need to breathe, does it stop your breathing, or just
You
that
only breathe
can...
when you want to.
I see. Is it possible to like mimic death with this?
Would you be able to mimic death better?
Yeah,
Well,
mimic
like
death,
he's not
but with
breathing.
haste.
Like,
Yeah, but you have a stone circling around your head.
Yeah.
oh,
The stone itself is not exactly visible.
mm.
Yeah, you look, they think you're dead and just nick you a stone. And then you have to breathe again. But
And they start going.
alright. Okay. Hmm. Yes, I know that selling the gem could be challenging, but it is one of a kind.
A quick question to the goblins, if I may.
Okay. Why are you still here though?
Who- Well, I'm not. It's just like I'm yelling from over the
You're yelling from your room.
from the second window. Like I just from the second floor. I just opened the window and said like, "Okay, and who do you sell it to?"
They shrug. It'll make a nice bargaining chip in case they meet someone particularly rich.
Yeah, like a noble or king somewhere will pay
A rising
nice.
nation in need of a big gemstone.
Now that I think about it, if we're gonna visit the Dragon's Lair, maybe that would be an interesting offering to one. Or maybe we'll just go and look for the second one because there's supposed to be at least 4 of those. We can probably go there and find one more.
You could
potentially.
always try, but you have no clue where they are.
Okay, so stones.
Which do you want?
Could I get 2?
Oh, they're not offering you one item. You can make a selection.
Oh, like how many?
Roll me persuasion. For every 5 points, you get an extra.
Heroes one.
Persuasion.
Okay, you get to pick 4 items.
4
Wow.
items. Okay, I take the armor class increasing Aeon Stone, the charisma increasing Aeon Stone. Can I have multiple Aeon Stones active? Or say,
They're attunement, so you can only have 2.
okay.
The lantern,
So-
the javelin, and the iron flask are not attuned.
It's interesting. Do these things make any noise as they hover?
They're very silent.
Okay, that's good.
I'll have two stones hovering up around my head.
They look pretty.
So, can I have both of them active at the same time or not?
Yes, but you would use all your attunement for it.
Cool. All right, those 2, and 2 more. Well, I, I'll take the flask because that sounds interesting.
There is an Ifriti inside. I need to look up what Ifriti exactly are, but
Well, fire spirits generally pretty dangerous to work with.
pretty spooky.
They're not the nice genies. And I guess I'll take the lightning bolt javelins.
Let's see if I can find them actually, Ifriti. Okay. So you got the iron flask. It weighs heavy, and you can and it comes a very pleasant warmth comes from it. Would make great for your feet if you have cold feet at night. Oh, I found it, Ifriti. Oh wow, do not want to fuck with an Ifriti, I guess. Genie.
Yes, they're
Ifriti.
made of fire.
Yeah, if you get an Ifriti out, he's gonna do you a good one. Because it is a CR11 creature.
Yeah, even if we get the item, we'll probably have to wait a few levels until we get.
No, you can use him, and he'll help you, and then he's like, okay, thanks for letting me out, and he just poofs. Like that's the bargain. Is whoever sealed him in is not you, so he's like, fuck it, you at least let me out.
Is it
You get
possible for us to just say help us on our long ass overarching quest?
they
Such
will
as
help
this
you for at
Rathor?
most 10 minutes, and then they're just gonna get sick of you.
Ah,
Like
Okay,
once you let them out, they're not obliged to do anything. They're just doing it out of the kindness of their heart,
okay, that's fair.
and they're also kind of
Uh,
bound for 10 minutes. So
So
the javelins, by the way, when you speak the command word, it fires a 120 feet long, 5 foot wide ray of lightning, DC 13 dexterity for 46 lightning damage, or half as much on a success. So
Damn.
Okay.
But
Can
the
I get?
question is, do they run out?
you get 2 of them.
All
So you
right.
Oh
can
no, wait, you only
reuse them.
get 1 because apparently you can reuse them every day. So you only get 1.
Oh,
Oh,
cool. Can I get this like the stats for them?
For a javelin, well, I'm gonna have to look this up real fast.
All right.
Beep,
Can
beep,
I?
bop, boop, beep, bop, beep, bop, boop, bop.
it can still be used as a melee weapon, right?
It's a javelin. You can use it as a javelin even when it's used. God, I hate
Mm.
this. I hate this so
If
much. This is
if
so
I
annoying.
throw it at an enemy without using the charge, will they
Javelin
be able to grab it and
description.
use it against it?
Javelin is a simple melee weapon, 1d6 piercing damage, weighs 2 pounds, and can be thrown for 30 or 120 feet. Or you can use your special lightning bolt and just destroy everything.
Does it penetrate?
No. Upon hitting a target, it hits a target. If a target dodges, however,
It
guess
keeps
that bolt
going
goes
until it
on,
hits something that doesn't.
and he still
Yeah,
takes
that
lightning damage because a lightning bolt just blasted next to him. So dodging is not an option.
So technically, it's sort of kind of like a breath weapon without the penetration. It doesn't cover an area.
Mhm.
Okay,
You
that's
almost
neat.
wanted to miss. You almost wanted to miss.
Just
Um.
would it be prudent to use this to shoot between enemies? So it just keeps going and keeps hitting everybody in its path.
You could intentionally try to avoid hitting an enemy, yes.
Okay, that's a little bit like cheating, but it works.
They would automatically succeed their dex saving throw, though, since, you're intentionally missing them.
Okay, that's fair enough, but it will still get half of the
Yep.
damage, right?
If you can get them in a line.
I see. That makes sense.
Javelin of light.
No.
Oh, I should probably put the staff
On your character sheet, yes.
clinically. Forgot to add it last time. Staff of healing. What was the counterpart for that? Hurt or damage or drain or what's the specific name?
What do you mean?
It is entwined staff of healing that can also do the opposite, which is the hurting.
Oh yeah, I can also do inflict spells.
So inflict damage, I guess.
Inflict wounds.
All right. Staff of healing, inflict wounds, 10 charges left. Okay. There we go.
Don't forget
Oh, yeah.
that it can use cure wounds, lesser restoration, or mass cure wounds. So.
Yes. Also, because of the background and such,
Mhm.
you can read the unnatural trait. I assume it hasn't come into like action
Oh, it's not going to
until
come into
now.
action in this village, at least. Like they're like, you're a good guy. Woo!
Fair enough.
You've proven
But
yourself.
if something does come up, do tell me, because it's a thing.
Okay. Shady, loaded with Aeon stones.
Yes, and I'm in bed, being comfy. See the picture.
Yeah. About the Aeon stones. What are these? Like, what do they look like? And
Let me look it up real fast. You
Go
have
ahead.
protection and charisma, right?
yeah, protection and charisma.
The
Don't
charisma
forget to
one
bump your charisma up.
is a marbled pink and green sphere.
What's the size?
Let me look it up. It doesn't specify.
Hmm.
They fit in your hand pretty easily. Like they're small little gemstones.
Yeah.
The protection one is a dusty rose prism. Dusty Rose Prism.
Rose color is neat. I'll
Indeed.
tell you.
Too bad Boyga got nothing out of the deal. It's not his gem, though.
She's fine. She's satisfied with that.
Boyga has the
Infinite
finest room in
benefit.
the inn now.
Yes. It's like reserved. There we go.
It's more like an emergency room in case someone. Well, I mean, it's not like a fancy place. Like, it's all tents, so it's
Yes.
just a room with the most pillows.
Yes, pillows are great. Good lord, I would kill for a good pillow.
Same. Let us kill together.
Yes. just fully clothed, without undressing, with all the swords and everything just slumped down.
Plump. And all your hit and this is little +1s come out of you as your hit points come back.
Just above my head.
+1, +1, +1.
+1, yes.
Too bad you got distracted on your journey, but you got some cool stuff out of it.
Yes. It did come from the direction of the ruins that we've been heading towards. So at the very least, we would technically know what to prepare for.
Well, it could be. Who knows?
Well, we know it's Elven ruins. We know the Ash construct came from there. So, or at least from that direction. So at the very least, it would be prudent to investigate this. Because this stuff keeps happening, then the village is kind of boned. So they should probably get around to building those steel walls around the place. I mean, I'd imagine orcs are nomads, right?
No, they're not nomadic. They're specifically settling Newbrick as like a city.
I see.
Like they
So,
found a
yes,
nice spot and they're like, this is our spot.
Fair enough. Close enough to the river, close enough to arable land, and now they have an infinite supply of steel.
They're looking
Sounds
to
like
a good
dream
future.
job. Yes.
Provided they don't get attacked.
Yes, which is what we're working to prevent. But
Okay.
good lord, that was a really scary encounter.
Was awesome.
I promise I won't be doing that every session, though.
That's okay, but yes, it was a little bit over the top. It was neat though. I enjoyed it. But yes, I
There's a
almost
good
died.
reason that thing was there, though.
I almost died. I leaked a magic stone. I don't know
Damn.
why. It's like I just had an idea.
No. Oh, you actually put it in there, Jesus.
Put in what? What?
Saving throw, dexterity versus DC. Flat. Flat 13. There we go. If I roll it now, it should include... Yep. No, that's a crystal clear climbing sword. There we go. There we go.
15 lightning.
It's 46, man. That goes up to 24. You throw that with a good arm, and you do 5d6 against one target.
What if I throw it with two good arms?
The
I don't
packed
suppose we
good
can.
sword.
I don't suppose we can load it into like a ballista.
Yes, it's actually got enough size that a ballista could reasonably fire without destroying it. It's also a magic weapon, so. If you were to fire with a ballista, it'd probably destroy itself on impact, but it would leave one hell of a mark.
That sounds fair, yes.
It probably punched through most things. Most living things would just be a hole. Because it's a
we
ballista.
know what we will need to use if we need to hunt a dragon.
These things were actually specifically made to hunt dragons, you know.
The
Because
ballista?
Yeah.
Like in real world or specifically
No,
in
that's
this world?
I mean, you know how in Dark Souls they have lightning spears, right?
Oh, you meant that? Yes.
That's basically why these things were generally made.
That's
Because
fair
if you,
enough.
it's like free lightning bolts. Who doesn't want that?
So we're pretty much going with the whole thing that the dragons are weak to lightning, like in Dark Souls.
No, I'm just saying that a lightning bolt is like. Here's the thing: you're not. I don't know how it exactly looks. Let me look it up again. But
Sure.
the javelin of lightning. Let me see. Speak as command, returns into a bolt of lightning. Okay, 125. Each creature in the oh no! It becomes a lightning bolt. So there's no attack roll. Whoops. The lightning bolt turns back into a javelin when it reaches its target. Make a ranged attack. So, wow. So you just say if you're standing in a line, you can say I want to hit the guy in the back. Everyone in between takes the lightning damage. The guy in the back takes the lightning damage and the spear if you hit him.
So always attack the one in the last in the line.
Yep.
Makes
So, again, really good against dragons. You just aim behind them, and it just goes straight through them. And it always hits.
sense. Aim at the tip of the tail.
Why?
Because the largest part of the dragon will be there. I know it will only do one attack roll, but it's gonna hurt all the way.
Okay. But you guys should take a nap. Enjoy your sleep. Get
Yes.
some rest. You're
Yeah.
hustle and bustle outside. The dead are buried. The situation is taken care of
Do
if
I
possible.
restore my hit points back to max?
Because you had a long rest.
Like,
You eat fine foods. You sit on fine pillows. Someone comes by and takes like measurements of what you look like and all that, so that the statues come out
the
nice.
statue? Yes.
Yep.
Well, they probably want to exclude the food baby that I'm
Shady
having
is
now.
like shown around the village and shown like, here, you want your house here? Do you want your house here? Or how big you want it?
Yeah, the spot that I would actually try to pick would be somewhere around the middle. Honestly, not on the outskirts.
Okay. Good real
But
estate.
it's just my suggestion. It's Shady's idea where.
Oh my
put the
god.
Stuff.
Oh my god.
What? What's wrong?
Do you know what you
What
guys just got?
What did we get?
Oh, you're gonna like this. You guys got this. Oh, give me a second.
It's for real estate. Yes.
Because it's actually applicable.
It's free real estate. Yes. However, I'm gonna show you a thing, which. 1 sec. Where is it?
Eventually, in a
What?
few months, when they come back, there's like a giant mansion for Shady.
And a small room under the stairs for me.
He comes
because-
back with like a dragon in tow. It's like, it's gonna look lovely over my fireplace.
Here, I found it.
It's free estate.
Economic right, economic left, authoritarian, and libertarian.
What?
Libertarian.
Re. What? Why is that like that?
Because the leftist do you not know this? Well, it's a political meme. Because libertarian and economic left do the re. Let me show you an example of what it sounds like.
It's like we're at the end of a session, but because we're just joking around.
Yes, well, it's fine enough. Here you go. You can put this on the stream, I suppose.
This is a test of the emergency broadcast system in the case of no chicken tendies.
In case of no chicken tendies. Oh my goodness. No chicken tendies. But morning has to come eventually,
Yes,
and with it
and we
comes
would.
plans.
Yes, we still need to investigate the ruins.
You could.
Also, speaking of ruins, because 1 day has passed, do they have any work that they said they might have?
Well, there is work. Like for one, they need
Just
someone to
some-
go to a larger place for the watchman and like tell them that their watchman died and they should send someone else. Like a small little, go past a place, deliver a message kind of deal.
We could try to do that actually. How far away and where exactly is it on the map? Could you show us?
Right here is a known outpost of the watchman.
So within a day's walk, or the few hours ride, I suppose.
It's a day's walk on the road if you have like a transport of some sorts.
Well, we do have horses. I mean,
Yep.
we lost one, but
No, those horses are theirs. They found the other one, but those were like given us like go do some stuff. Go fight that thing before it gets too close.
okay. In which case, we can go here and then just loop all the way over here.
I mean, if you want
That
a
makes
horse is like 100 gold pieces.
Are they gonna make us pay after doing what after what we
You can
did?
roll persuasion or intimidation if you want to get it for free. Because
Well,
they
it's
did give
not
you a
like I'm gonna
house and
get
they
it
gave
for.
you free in access, so
Yes, well, it's not like we're not taking them forever. We're gonna rent them out because we're gonna return them here.
then
We
they
kind
want a
of have
50
the
gold
property
deposit.
here. Okay, well, it's reasonable. We're gonna leave them money. We're gonna
Once you
take
come
the
back, you get it
horses.
back.
Yeah, let's do that. Sure.
Do you want the same horses or another one? Or do you want like
Yeah,
a
sure.
drake or something?
I like the fluffy one, like from the picture that I've posted, so it's fine.
Hee. You're not gonna go for a drake? What shade do you want?
Oh,
Shady can have a
has
Drake, I suppose.
has Gilman returned?
Has what returned?
My horse, Gilman.
Yes.
You mean the horse with the fins?
Yeah.
If you want him, you can keep him. Yes, they're fine with that.
Yep. I'll take Gilman.
Gilman.
I mean, it would be weird if Shady's riding a lizard. Boygo would be like weird, but not illegal.
Oh,
I mean, I can't
just-
stop you, but
Yes, just would
need
look
to get
weird.
giant cat for Boyga to ride.
It's like a mammal is riding a lizard and a lizard is riding a mammal. That's kind of funky.
Scaly Gilman. Hilarious.
Okay, so where are we riding? Right.
We will be riding towards the here, and then
Mhm.
I'd imagine we would make a loop over here because that would. We've already decided to go to the ruins. This is just going to be like a little sidetracking activity.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little swing around. Say hello to the local watchman.
Hmm.
I need to figure out a name for this place in the first place. I'll just figure out something nice like Lakeside.
Well, maybe they don't really have the places. Maybe it's like it's that place and everybody just knows.
Okay, I'll call it Fort Husk. There we go. I got a name for it. You go through the swamps, by the way, for the most part.
Reasonable. Say again?
You're traveling along the road.
The swamp road.
The swamp road, it's dark, it's humid. It's not the most pleasant road, but it goes places, I guess. Roll me a d20, both of you.
1 second. R1D20. There we go.
In the distance, you see a pair of ghouls that are
Undead.
Yes, and they are ravaging a cart.
Ouch.
Hmm.
We should probably give them a wide berth.
They're on the road and they're ravaging a cart, so that's up to you.
Is it one of the? Is this the kind of undead that sucks out levels? Because
No, they're just
I have-
ghouls.
The ghouls, they paralyze you.
Well, let's not get touched. Do they have weakness to any sort of magic? All that added?
Well, they're ghouls. They're probably weak to radiant and such. You know,
I see.
Yeah.
Well, technically, I don't really have any of that. I
you
have
have
lightning.
cure light wounds, and you have mass cure wounds, which might help.
Oh yes, and I also have the sonic. Technically, right? Because thunder is sonic.
Hmm.
Is
Well,
it? Quick question: does the sonic damage reduce dexterity in this?
Why would it reduce dexterity? What Sonic are you talking about again?
Sonic damage because sonic weapons in Knights of the Republic, which is D&D 3.3, does reduce dexterity.
That's probably a side effect. Like, damage types themselves don't necessarily have implied powers.
I see. Fair enough.
Let me see. Mass cure wounds. Okay.
So since Shady doesn't notice them, I guess, or doesn't recognize them as ghouls.
Yeah, Shady doesn't
according
recognize
to
them as
our rules.
ghouls. He just sees
Okay,
like some
in which
weird
case-
people clawing at it.
In which case, I would nudge Shady and say that those are undead.
Oh,
and ask them uh, if they want to engage.
well, yeah. They're on the road and they're ghouls. They're nasty. Ugh.
So
Kill.
you say we should kill them.
Yep. I'll ride within crossbow distance. Call out my heavy crossbow and
Okay, okay, okay.
take aim.
I'm gonna roll you initiative first. You do get the surprise round because you're going first. Oh, they roll pretty high, so roll your initiative. Don't forget that part.
Clickety click.
Ah, there you go.
Como, what's your initiative?
1 second. I totally forgot where I need to look for it. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
It's between
also
your armor class and speed.
Oh yes, I found it. God damn, I'm blind today.
That's fine.
yeah, it's a moment as well.
Okay, let me just sort them. Descending. There we go. Boyga gets to make the first move on the surprise round. What are you doing?
I'm gonna use my bow.
Pew, pew.
Pull it back and lose an arrow, aiming at the closest undead, well,
Mhm.
ghoul's head. Click.
Ghoul number 2 is closest.
Yes.
Oh, that's a square hit. You see the arrow go flick, and it sort of notices you now.
Yes. Well, it also has an arrow sticking out of its head.
Great. Okay. And
Well, bows are actually cracking more like, sort of, kind of like guns.
Mhm. Okay, so you ride your horse around it. You take a quick aim. It is now Shady's time to let that crossbow sing.
Yep. I'll aim at the same one. Concentrate fire.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Wow!
Bonk.
You kill it. You fire a mean crossbow bolt, might I say? Jesus. It just so Como like hits it in the shoulder and or in the head and goes gluk, and then the other bolt goes bleak and just tags the whole thing with it.
Nice.
It just falls
I'm
over dead.
envious. Yes.
What?
It is now the big man's turn. Since you are approaching it, it moves with rapid speed. You've not seen a ghoul move this fast. It might be something else. Who knows? It looks ghoulish enough, though.
It's people posing as ghouls.
No, it's worse than that. This creature starts swiping and swiping and swiping. And it takes a bite suddenly. Surprise attack. Who is it attacking? Probably who would be closer?
I would probably be closer.
Okay.
Actually,
Hmm.
well, wow. Well, the distance of my bow is actually shorter, so I would be the closest.
Your AC is 15.
Uh, yes, my AC is
I got some
15.
bad news for you. He takes a
Yeah, so
giant bite out of you. You hear a sickening crunch as it bites into your leg.
well, I didn't need it to walk anyway.
You got a
Ow.
horse, but it's your turn. You can instantly strike it back and try to get it off your leg.
I am contemplating just biting it back, but that's gonna be disgusting. So as it does that, I'm just gonna try to slash it with my sword.
Don't you
Get
dual
the
wield?
fuck off me. I do, but I'm holding like a horse, so I kind of only use one.
Well, you probably stopped since it's biting into your leg, so.
Oh, well, if it's biting in my leg, then it's on one side of the thing, and
Alright.
it would be very.
If you don't want to
I-
attack,
im-
so don't let you take 2 attacks.
I'm just reasoning. I'm just gonna
Yep,
swing at
yep,
it
yep.
with a sword. Yes.
Shady. You hear the crunch even from here.
Ugh,
Do something.
horrible. Well, since my heavy crossbow will need loading, I'll let it fade away and pull out my great sword and right towards it.
Zzz. Are you going to ride past it, or are you going to stop beside it? You can make an attack while you move, and then move on.
Yeah, I'll kind of make a right by slash.
Roll me the damage. Attack. 11. 11 doesn't hit. The creature, you strike it, but the natural armor just seems to deflect it off, and your sword whoosh, slashes through. The ghoul goes again. And it goes after you. It is like, you fool. You foolish fool. It scampers. Scamper, scamper, scamper. Whoosh, jumps onto your horse.
Ugh.
And it takes a bite out of you as it's holding on to for its dear life.
Oh no.
Ooh, it actually hits.
Oh, wow.
Ooh! It bites at your side and takes a sizable chunk of meat out.
What the hell?
You feel sick.
Good thing there's not two of them, huh?
Good thing you knocked out that first one with ease.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the turn goes on to Boyka.
Ah,
Yes. Well, we're close to each other, so I suppose I could reach for the swords, but I got a slashing weapon, so in fear of actually hitting Shady as well, I'm gonna try to use my bow, like up close. Would be probably very hard to miss, considering it's just literally just latching on. So
Yeah, it's easy to hit now because it's
let's see.
going. Hop, hop, hop.
Well, I clicked it. It's gonna take a moment to actually register, I guess. Come on.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
There we go.
Aw, you hit it for piddly damage. Pew!
Yes. It probably either bounces off or just get stuck in.
Nope, it now has an
something
arrow stuck in its
vertical.
butt.
It's butt.
Yeah. Shady. It hurts.
Will Shady be able to attack it from this position?
Well, Shady can
Uh,
attack it.
it's real bad. So we're both on the horse then now.
Yep.
I try to roll up off the saddle and slice back at it.
Ooh, you're gonna roll off the horse. Okay.
It's gonna steal the horse now.
Strike it.
Yeah, it's
Grand
kinda
Theft horse.
Yeah.
No, Grand Theft Equine.
yeah, it will be kind of difficult to uh, use my great sword if it's like hugging me, basically.
It's fair enough.
So yeah, I dismount and slash. Mm,
Ooh. You dismount. You roll off. You swing back. You slash at it, and you cut off one of its arms.
ah,
Is it still alive?
It's still alive. You notice that from its wound leaks a very thick, viscous ichor.
ugh. Just
It's gonna go in for an attack.
Don't know.
Ooh. Ooh.
Are we dead?
Yeah, that was a critical.
Oh,
Damn.
You might want to use Cure
So-
Mass Wounds as a hit.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get the thing and I'm just gonna whack Shady on the head with it.
Cure Mass Wounds can be done from a distance.
uh,
Fair
about
enough, I'm gonna whack myself on the head.
about that attack.
Yes. Oh yeah,
Would
you
my-
take you do take half damage because of your resistances,
Oh
which come
yeah,
into play.
and also would my shield spell help with that anyway?
It's a critical, so no.
It doesn't help against criticals.
Yeah, yeah.
Wah,
So-
wah.
So I take 12 damage.
You are now at 0 hit points. Every
minus-
time your turn comes around at the beginning, you make a death saving throw, which is a very sexy D20. You make it, you
Does
get a
he make
success.
the
You
saving
fail,
throw
you take a
right now?
failure. If you roll 20, you're back on your feet. If you take a 1, you take 2 failures. It's not great. Boyga, what are you gonna do about the situation? And
I'm
make it a
gonna
good
bash
one.
myself on the head with a stick. Cure mass wounds. I don't care. I need to save the
Cure
cat.
Mass Wounds is the following. A wave of healing energy comes out from a point of your choice within range. Range is 60 feet. Choose up to 6 creatures in a 30-foot radius sphere concentrated around that point. They gain 3d8 plus your spellcasting modifier.
3d8. Wow.
Yeah, it takes half your charges though.
It's fair and it's worth, because I'm missing a leg and well, a part of the leg, and Shady's missing like half his hurt side.
Also, since it's undead, you can blast it with holy energy using this.
Yes, which is why I'm gonna cast it on the zombie, on the ghoul.
You can pick up to 6 creatures. So you can pick
Okay, fine.
yourself. You can pick everyone in this current fight.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick up the horses and whoever was the dead guy in the cart that they've been picking,
Okay.
just in case. Maybe he's still alive.
Roll me your 3d8 plus your spellcasting modifier, which is basically wisdom plus
3d8
proficiency, if I recall correctly.
are 3d8, and my
Is 3.
is 3. 3d8 plus 3. It's lagging a little bit. It's gonna count. It's gonna do the math. It's gonna crunch.
It's gonna count on its fingers like 1. 16!
Yes.
There's a blinding flash of light around the point wherever you aimed it. Like there's a...
Ooh.
Yes.
The undead has turned to ash, and Shady, you feel very good. For a minute there, you
Wow.
felt like you were about to faint, but now you're like,
Thanks, Boyga.
You're welcome.
Ooh, wow.
But since the creature has evaporated, you can tell that it has a backpack with it.
Oh,
The creature had a backpack.
Yeah.
So I guess that was the one of the owners of the
Could be.
cart.
hmm. Alright. Do I find me the backpack?
Take a look around the backpack. And you find some random trade goods. And some cool magic shit.
Oh.
Abracadabra, alakazam.
Oh.
This is essentially everything. Like in the backpack, in the cart, this is what you managed to scrounge together.
Silk Hunter's Cap. Drink the beer wine.
Is there any evidence of the original owner, or was the ghoul the owner?
From what you can tell, one of the two ghouls must have been the owner, and the other was Patient Zero. But that's just a guess you make.
Okay. Well, I'll take 2 of the potions of healing.
Why would they have the kinky stuff in there?
What?
The choker.
Don't be like that.
Oh, I have a potion. Huh. Well, I now have 4 healing potions. You should probably take the potions of climbing.
A quick question though.
What?
Why does it say damage 187? Is it referencing a page?
That's the DMG. The Dungeon Master Guide.
Oh,
They're reference
so it's-
pages.
right. It's like potion of climbing does 187 damage.
Don't drink it! You'll die!
You'll just explode instantly, but you'll be able to climb for like 5 seconds.
It explodes you upwards.
Kind of like that spell in Morrowind. There was early on in Morrowind, if you
Oh, you
haven't
mean
played
Icarus
it.
Flight?
Yeah, you can meet. Basically, you're walking out of the town and you hear crying, and then a mage just falls in front of you and dies. And on his body, you can find spells of jumping. If you use those spells, you can jump really freaking high. But unfortunately, the spell does not account for landing, so you will die if you crash down.
Luckily, it carries a journal that informs you not to do so.
Yeah. But it's still very amusing. And it's really fun jumping over mountains like that.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. That's a fun
Yeah,
game.
boyga.
Lame.
Oh,
No,
I thought
it's
that
not
was a
lame.
good joke.
It was good.
Well, I'm having fun, so there's that.
Yay.
Okay, so all of our injuries are magically healed. Are we, like, infected?
Nope. Not that you can tell.
Well, I guess it healed all the infection that could have gotten into the wounds too.
I
So
mean,
that's
ghouls and
good.
gas require you to be dead before they can infect you, so
Hmm.
that's
Well,
just common knowledge.
I'm still
Well,
slightly
not
injured.
not not for ashen ones, of course. Well, you can drink one of the potions or I can attempt some healing on you.
He still has like 5 charges to go, so
Bonk me with your magic staff.
how many charges will you use for this one? Every charge is another 1d8.
I'm
How many would you need?
I'm missing 8 hit points.
8 hit points?
Then only one
Mm,
charge for 1d8 plus D will be enough.
Yes, but in case we run into the undead, uh, wait a second, I forgot the means of recharging this. We just wait for
At
one day and
dawn,
it
you get
automatically?
1d6 plus 4 back.
1d6 plus
If it
4
runs
back.
out, you have to roll, and it might become inert.
I see. Okay, well, fair enough. I'm gonna bonk Shady on the head and use 2 charges just to be sure. So that would be. Let me roll that. 2d6. 2d8, I mean.
mm,
Plus the magic modifier, right?
Yep, so 3.
Actually, I'm just gonna use 1 because it's gonna be a +3 anyway, so 1d8.
yeah.
Click. And I'm gonna change the thing in my bio to say,
Oh
well,
yeah,
you
that's
1 hit point. Yeah.
So the
So it's
claw
got
marks
4
and all
charges
feel a lot
left.
better now. The bite marks, actually.
yeah, that's much better. Thank you.
You're all sparkly now.
Hmm. There's still some scuffs, but that's nothing major.
Yeah, there's like a hole in your clothes, but you could fix that.
Hmm.
Do warlocks get cantrips?
Uh, yes, I have 2 cantrips.
Do you know the cantrip called Make Whole?
No, I have frostbite and true strike.
Fair enough.
I'm very much a warrior type.
And I have literally no idea how to sew. I can probably fix like with stuff with big patches, but beyond that, not much. I'm not a tailor.
Bah.
You'll probably find a tailor on our journeys.
There's probably one in the village.
Hmm.
Most likely. It is a fort.
So, how are we gonna spread this thing? Do we just automatically convert it
It's easier that way,
um
yes.
into gold?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I took 2 of the potions of healing, and eh, I think you should have the potions of climbing, since I already have climbing speed.
Makes sense. Let me put it into the inventory. So that would be 2x potions of climbing and 2x potions of healing. Done. Okay, and let's set up all the numbers of the gold that we have. It's gonna
Uh,
be 110 plus 25 plus
it's
25 plus 25 plus 25 plus.
that's
Oh, and those
210.
we didn't use. That's 210, so that's 105 for each if we split it evenly.
Yep.
Let me add a
Yay.
duck. It's gonna be 245. There you go.
Money.
Oh, we also made a deposit of 50 each, so that goes from 245 to 195. There we go.
Okay. 190.
Cool.
Well, the roads are safer today. Also, stamina goes back up to full.
I forgot to
But
keep track of that. Ugh.
that's fine.
The rolls enough
I
for.
kept track.
Mm.
Yeah, we didn't run out when we were claiming the thing, so it's fine. The
Yep.
zombies. This has been the second time that I have underestimated the undead.
Hmm.
Well, people
Yeah.
have clerics for a reason.
quite
Yes.
tough. Actually, will be bef- before the 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 other one was disintegrated. Could I make some kind of guess as to what it was if it wasn't a ghoul? Exactly.
It might have been a ghast, which are similar to ghouls.
Ah,
I
yeah,
see.
cool.
So we have attacked the wrong one.
Hmm.
The
Oh
regular ghoul would have probably not be as dangerous as the ghast.
no. And what about the guy in the cart? He's probably quite dead.
He's quite dead.
Well, yes.
Mm.
One of the ghouls or the ghast was that guy in the cart.
Mm. I oh I don't know. Can you like do something to prevent this one from turning into undead or
He was the ghoul and we just turned him into ash.
uh wait, wasn't there another corpse in the cart?
There was a corpse, yes. You can roll knowledge religion if you want to know any anointing rituals.
I'll take the corpse's head off just in case.
The corpse will now
I
not
can
turn into a ghast.
probably inquire with the mage, so he can probably make a witty remark or a very snarky one
I think
about
the
this
cutting
if
off
he
the head
knows
will
any.
do.
Yep.
Yeah,
Radical.
off with his head. I should probably write down a whole slew of various snarky phrases for the mage when he takes over. That would be
Hmm.
interesting.
Yep.
It's like, why is she talking to herself? It's like, that just happens. She's just like that. Just like, don't question it.
Do not question.
Yep. Yeah. I take off take off his head and what kind of card is this? Like merchant or
Um, it's like a pulley cart, like you pull it yourself.
huh,
I see. So it was like a trading card.
Yep.
And of course, that wasn't a human who that was. Was that an orc?
It was a goblin, as you would expect.
Ah,
hmm,
I see. So one of the goblins. Well, if we meet the goblins, we can just say that in this particular location, we've seen a goblin trader being killed. So
Judging by how
yeah.
fresh everything looks, he might have run away from the big creature or something, in the direction the cart is facing.
Hmm.
and so he just ran into a zombie basically.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's some bad luck.
And what is the direction of that big scary creature?
You came from it. Like the cart is facing the same direction you were when you were traveling along the path, so.
I see. So the creature has moved on.
No, it
I was
was the
talking
creature
about the
that you
giant thing
killed.
you fought. Like, he ran away from that,
Oh, he was running away from that. Okay.
from Nubric.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So it's not safe even on the roads these days.
Hmm.
I mean,
Is
undead.
it? Do we? Well, yeah. Do we know whether or not this is getting like worse? Because I don't
This
suppose
is like
giant
the first time
monsters.
you've seen these. Oh, you've seen those other guys, like those little ashen, dull creatures.
Well, we've seen the zombies, but have we seen this kind of zombie before?
Well, gas and ghouls are quite common. They usually appear in areas where people have died a lot, so.
Yeah, then
And they
that's
also are
Which is
notorious for
everywhere.
for hiding out in swamps, so.
Okay, that is fair enough. All right. I suppose we should be on our merry way towards the ruins.
yeah.
You're still not. You went on a detour specifically to deliver a message about the Watcher.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I forgot. Jesus. Yes, we will continue on the road to reach the Watcher Tower, Castle,
It's a
Fortress.
small fort.
Okay, to reach the fort
It like
and
guards the river and
say,
such.
yeah, they're clearly not doing their job very well
I mean, you are
because
like
a trader with
whatever. You're like a day's walk away, so can you blame him? It's also
not
only one.
necessarily
Like
no.
it could have been multiple, if it was worse.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
let's head to
So
the tower then.
we
To the fort, I mean.
leave the corpse here. Make a note to inform people about its location here, and continue on our way. Munching on some swamp berries or whatever.
Shady. As you ride along, your side hurts. Boyga, your leg still aches, even though the wounds have healed.
Are there any lasting effects, or is it just flavor?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh, well, if it starts getting any worse, I'll need Shady's help to help cut it off.
I don't think Shady can cut off his entire lower abdomen.
Can I examine
Yes,
the
but he
wound?
can. But Shady can help me cut off my legs.
The wound seems to be mostly gone. It's still a bit bruised, but that might just be the limitations of healing magic.
Like, can I use medicine to identify any lingering effects?
Go.
Yeah.
No clue. It might just be mental.
Might
Because he took a big
be.
bite out, and your brain is like, ow. Like, healing
Okay,
magic
well,
can't fix the fact... Like, if you have phantom limb syndrome and your limb grows back, you can still have phantom limb syndrome for a while.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, um, both the mage and Boyga can make the same kind of roll because they're somewhat trained in medicine, as well as both of them be having access to a herbalist kit and
Herbalist.
an alchemist set.
Those do not actually augment your skills, but sure, just roll me with advantage.
Well, they wouldn't augment it, but they
Okay.
would be useful. So roll with advantage and roll medicine.
The mage has no clue. He has a similar theory that it's just like phantom pain.
Fair enough.
On that note, I'm going to add another thing you can use Mythic Surge for, which is you can reduce a roll by 1d6. So that it goes both ways,
So you can force a critical failure.
technically.
Is it possible to enforce a critical failure on enemies?
I'm going to say that if something rolls a critical success, and you try to negate it, you just negate the critical, but it will still hit.
Okay, that's fair enough, but
It doesn't,
maybe
but if it rolls a 1, it's going to miss in general, so that's not really a big thing.
maybe in well in GURPS system, right? Or in special in Fallout,
Yes.
there's a jinxed perk that makes
What does
both
it
you and
do?
the enemies roll very poorly, and critical failures are gonna like gun explodes in your hands and damages you, that kind of stuff. That would actually be interesting to try one day.
Mm-hmm.
But in any case, we would like to continue towards the Watchers. The
Yep.
Watchers for
Okay. Go along the road through the dark, damp swamp. You see animals from time to time, some of which have succumbed to the ash pollution that was there a few days ago.
I'll try to lift the mood by playing my pan flute.
Roll me performance to see how good of a song you make it.
Wow, it's actually pretty good,
You all feel fantastic.
except for the Phantom Pain.
Yeah. Now the phantom pain goes away. It's such a good song, you just forget about it.
Yep, I play a merry tune.
You just forget
Well,
about it.
well, if your ears start to turn, I'm gonna have to shoot them.
Soon enough, you see the fortress in the distance. It's in the clearing of the swamp. It's really close to where the river splits out into the lake. It's a really nice fortress.
Really nice.
Yeah, it's made out of
Meaning
brick and
it's
stone, and it's relatively well made. It's impressive they managed to build it. Like,
is it
considering the
something
time.
pre-war or is it actually a new construction?
You can tell that there's a distinct like stone split, so some of it is pre-war.
That's interesting enough, and it's also nice to see in the among the whole destruction and whatnot. Do we just knock on the doors, or do they actually have a sentry that we can talk to?
There's a sentry at the door you can talk to. He
Okay.
salutes you and says, "Good day, good folk."
Hello, sir.
What brings you to
We
Fort
came
Husk?
right. We came here from the village called Newswick, to the southeast from here, and we would like to report that one of your watchmen has unfortunately perished in the fight with a giant creature that came from one of the Elven ruins, or at least from the direction that came from northeast.
Hmm. That is some serious news. Perhaps you should tell the captain. And he kind of nudges open the door.
Sure. It's okay if we come in?
Yes, that's why I opened the door. And
I
kind
just
of
slap
gives you
myself on the head and I just say like, "Doi." Yes, of
gives you
course.
an incredulous look.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. We just got attacked by what we assume is a ghoul and a ghast.
Mm-hmm.
About one day's horse
Walk.
travel.
Yeah.
Well, I guess walk. I suppose about one day's walk along the road towards the Newswick. One of the goblin traders have perished as well,
Hmm. I will
and
tell them.
was
I will tell them.
yeah. Well, we can tell to the captain, so let's go.
Okay. You walk in
Yep.
and you enter the courtyard. There's drakes in a stable. There's some tents. You can see traders of all sorts. You even see a small cluster of like lizard folk with their own carts and like beasts of burden. It's quite busy.
Yep.
Even a blacksmith at work. There's a large stone tower at the back, which is presumably where most of the guards are located.
Is it possible for me to lean back beyond the door and ask for directions while
It
we're
just
at
says
it?
go to the big building and go a few stairs up, and you'll see it eventually. It's a pretty open structure.
Sure, fair enough. So we need to head towards the tower, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, towards the big tower. There's another smaller tower like near the gates, but that's it.
Yeah. Well, there's no reason to like discuss this openly with traders or whatnot, and sow unnecessary distress and panic. So
You
we'll just
stable your
go over
horses.
to the office. Yes,
You go
stable the
on.
horses to tie them in at the stable.
Mm-hmm. As you head over, you go up the stairs. It's pretty busy inside. There's people talking. You see guards. You see people in civilian clothes. You go up the stairs, up the stairs. You go past the barracks. You go past another sort of living storage space,
Yep.
presumably for dry goods, and then you reach into a small office. And you see a very impressive looking. You're not sure what race she is. She's very scaled. She has weird ears, weird long ears. Has somewhat animalistic features, sort of like a lizard, sort of like a fish. You're not quite sure.
Hmm.
And she just says, "Good
Um,
day, good folk."
Good
is she
day.
like a merfolk or a dragonoid or something like that?
It's a little bit of both. You don't know.
Okay, I guess it's just mixed heritage.
Hmm. Might be.
Captain, may I have your name?
Ah.
Elinda.
Okay,
Uh,
Captain Alinda. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna let Shady talk for now.
oh, I just had a quick question. Are there mongrel men in this world?
Why are you asking? What are mongrel men?
Oh, from a, they've been in D&D for quite a long while. They're just kind of mix of all races, all species, kind of mixing them.
Oh, that's funky.
And
Oh,
well,
wow, those pictures look radical.
I was just wondering if they were a thing in this.
You get that sort of vibe. It might be a mongrel.
Hmm.
But it's probably impolite to ask.
It is considered very impolite to ask about mixed heritages. Yes.
Yes. Uh, in which case I will continue. Oh my god, I come. Let me write this down. Could you repeat the name?
Elinda.
Yolanda. Okay, maybe it's gonna be a recurrent character. So. Sorry, Captain. So, Captain Yolanda, we have come here with bad news. We are coming in to report that one of your watchmen assigned to the town to the southeast has fallen in a fight with a giant creature that came from the northeast from the direction of the Elven ruins.
Hmm.
Hmm. To die in the line of duty. She kind of holds a moment of silence. Ah, is there
Unfortunately, we were unable to recover like a body or anything. They just kind of got disintegrated.
Well, to hold the peace is what we live for, and to die keeping the peace is a great honor.
Hmm.
Uh, I suppose that's valiant enough. On the same topic, about a day's worth of travel to the southeast along the road, we have encountered a group of undead that have attacked a goblin trader and turned him into a ghast.
It's frightening.
S-
Very
s-
frightening.
Yeah,
So
we did manage to put the undead down, but yeah, there's dead
we've
traders
managed to
down
put,
on the road.
yeah,
Hmm.
we've managed to put them down, but we don't know if there are more of those. So if you can spare any resources, I mean,
We
I'm
will
not
see
gonna
if
tell you
there
how
is
to do your
anything
job.
more to worry about, and we
Yeah,
will send
I'm not
word
gonna,
when needed.
I'm not gonna tell them how to do their job, really.
Of
So
course not.
there's that.
Well, it is most polite that you have lent us this service. But what about the creature we heard about?
What creature specifically do you mean?
We heard words of a very large and strange creature from several panicked people on horseback.
Ah,
That's
yeah,
the
that
creature with which you're Shady. You can continue if you want.
yeah, that the creature you heard about is the one we just told you about, the giant two-headed being traveling from northeast.
Hmm.
We managed to put it down.
Hmm. She kind of leans back, puts her finger against her lips, nods a bit. Hmm. Well, that sounds like quite the story.
We could
Oh
give them the
yes,
description of the creature and inquire whether or not they actually know anything like that.
uh, yeah. Have you heard of any creatures like this? That one.
Not necessarily, though we have found books that detail creatures that look like that. Yes.
Hmm. Yeah,
Can
there
I
were
read
some.
them?
Hmm. You'll have to check the library. It's a floor below.
Okay.
Yeah, there were mm, war machines similar to the creature used back in the war, but this was
Hmm.
a mostly living creature.
That is very disconcerting news. To hear that the old world is awakening is no good thing for us.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it was a relic of the past, however, it looked more like a clumsy facsimile of a an actual machine.
Is
It's
that
like
not more
somebody
proof
had,
that the old world is coming alive again?
not necessarily, somebody used the blueprints to create something new, but they liked the materials and the techniques.
We will keep our eye out. This is most disconcerting.
That is fair enough.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
We would like to, if at all possible, we would like to know if you have any maps of the immediate area around the ruins that we're heading towards, the Elven ruins from the northeast.
No, from here it's more
And
like
what?
east.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yes, okay. Yeah, fair enough. To the east from here, and we would also like to inquire whether or not you actually know anything about them. If somebody visited them, if there were any patrols, etc.
Give me a second. We do not know much about it. Um, what do we know
Not
is
enough
that there is a dome
people or
inside of
not
it,
enough
and that
interest?
the walls are quite tall. The gates are quite sturdy. We saw no need to attempt to infiltrate the location. But if you wish to take care of it, you have our blessing.
So that's interesting because a lot of people call things ruins and they're mostly like closed off and just not visited. Doesn't necessarily mean it's ruins. But sure, fair enough.
They are
Any
ruins
immediate
of the
danger
old
that we
world.
should be?
Disturb them carefully.
Yes. We've I've learned that the hard way, unfortunately.
You've been to ruins prior?
Yes, actually, and not every visit has ended favorably.
Why did you go to those ruins then? You are not trying to bring back something dangerous, are you?
I'm not trying to bring something dangerous, I am trying to bring something valuable because I am very passionate about not starving to death.
She looks at you confused. Like, what?
There is profit in the ruins, and not every object is dangerous. Quite a few of the old war relics are harmless, or at the very least amusing, like the well, you did mention in the manual the thing that cleans windows, but there are no windows anymore.
You speak like a kobold or a goblin, all in words of pragmatism and money.
Well, personally, I just do it for the excitement and glory.
That cat is just for funsies.
Mm.
I'm more
She
in
frowns
for
at you. She's like,
specific profit.
should I trust you to leave this place?
Sorry, you cut out there. Could you repeat that?
She doesn't seem too keen on you guys.
Well, that's
You
fair
might be
enough
raising
because
hostilities here.
yeah, well, in which case we'll just kind of like say, okay, well, I mean, that's just the way I see it, and leave it at that without trying to provoke confrontation.
Hmm. I will not allow you to read the library then.
Oh,
You are
Okay, is there
clearly the
anything
kind
we...
of people who will stir something wrong.
That is fair enough. Is there anything we can do to change your opinion on this?
She does not take that in any good stride. That you're like, what can we do to bribe you? Is what she understands out of that.
It's not the bribery. It's, well, okay, fair
She
enough if
gets
she
up.
takes it the wrong way.
She slams
Yeah.
her hands down and she gets up. What are you gonna do? Like, she doesn't look happy at all.
I
Pick your
believe
words
we have.
carefully, I'd say.
Yes, I'm trying. That's why I'm silent right now.
I think we have a slight misunderstanding here. I
Do
think
we now?
what my friend here was trying to say is that, oh, can we do anything for you to change your mind?
Your friend is the kind of mind that is dangerous for this world. You may read the book, but he must stay outside.
Ah,
She, actually. He doesn't care.
She.
Doesn't notice.
Maybe she doesn't notice or can't tell, so it's fine. He, she, doesn't matter. No problem.
But yes, Boyga's not allowed to be in the building while Shady reads the book.
Make notes. Take pictures.
Here's a camera and some film.
Well, he doesn't. It's just like, I don't know, make notes on paper.
yep. I do have some paper and.
They
Oh, Shady has photographic memory, right?
Mostly for navigation, but sort of.
Well,
Yes,
make some
in it.
maps and geography.
Yeah, okay, then I'm just gonna like huff and puff and just sit outside.
Okay.
I,
So someone in the library helps you find the book, Shady. You don't have to look all over the place. They hand you a very dusty tome that they don't open much because they don't have to. It is a book on war machine construction of particularly large golems.
ah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I'll take some notes.
There's
of
some
any-
scary-looking designs in there. Ooh. The design in specific that you fought was called. Let me look up the notes. Damn it, I'm too low. Was called a dual braided planeswalker. As in a plane as in a field, not a plane as in an elemental plane.
Interesting. Does it say anything about organic construction there?
Nope. And the picture that's made looks very metallic, like a lot more segmented plates and such, instead of made of stone and fur.
So
Interesting.
clearly they like the materials, but yeah.
Yeah. It is clear that either someone found one of these things and
Repaired it.
mutated it into a living creature, or were inspired by this and grew or built one of their own.
Fascinating.
Or perhaps that's how they look under the armor.
That is potential, but the book itself doesn't mention anything about that, so unlikely.
Yeah, the book doesn't mention that.
That's fair enough.
Okay, so yeah, I take some notes. Hopefully useful ones.
Yep. You noticed, by the way, that the places where the magic nexuses were located were actually mentioned on the sheet as like weak spots. So
You got out there.
the weak spots you found on the creature overlap with several locations that are called vulnerable nexi on the pages. So the book mentions like where the weak spots were.
Okay.
So the magical internal construction is the same.
Oh, and are there like similar kind of descriptions on more of these things?
Yes, there are several other designs. There's like large gorilla ones that walk around.
Oh,
There are ones that look like large weapons platforms. Ooh,
hmm.
Are
Okay,
there
I'll
any
I'll
easily
take.
concealable humanoid ones?
why?
Uh, asking for a friend. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
This
I'll
is
take particular care to take notes of the weak points.
okay. You make some quick
Okay,
sketches on like weak points and general shape of things.
yeah, locations, so forth.
This book, by the way, Boyga, is about larger machines, not about smaller machines.
Is there a
Hmm.
book about smaller ones?
Shady has no reason to look for those.
Would it be possible for Boyga or slash the mage to pull them away for a second and ask them
You're
to
not
look for
allowed in the
specific
building
things?
anymore.
Well, before they go into the building.
They were already in the building.
Okay, fair enough.
Like they were in the building. You were escorted out, and Shady was escorted to the library
Just kicked out in the dirt. Rude.
because you're clearly the kind of person that's gonna like. Maybe they noticed the whole the homunculus thing, and they were like, "Okay, I already don't trust you."
Oh, that would make sense, yes.
Like you're pretty
That
much
would actually make
you're pretty much like behaving like someone who just wants to bring back problems.
Yeah, and technically I am a problem, a walking problem, so yes. It would make sense for them to dislike me. Maybe the sense like the presence or whatever, but they're not calling it out, they just don't care. Good point. I like that. In
Okay.
which case, I would probably go and browse for any peculiar things with the traders.
What are you looking for specific?
Well, would it make sense for me to grab the cloudy ring again?
Not really, because the 5 foot step doesn't exist.
Say again?
The 5 foot
Doesn't
step
exist?
does not exist, so the foggy ring doesn't really work in the same way.
Unless it's just for style, but then I can just like request to find it sometime later. So that's fine. I'll just walk around and browse, and maybe something interesting will crop up. But beyond that, I'll just kill time until Shady's back.
Okay. Well, the merchants do have some things on offer. If you want, that is.
Well, I can take a look at them, sure.
Okay.
Not
So they
necessarily
have
that
a few
I'll buy
things.
them.
They have like a very they got some interesting looking things, but the things that catch your eye is there's a gnarly looking tooth and a piece of jagged iron.
A tooth.
Yep. It's got
Uh,
it's got strange runes carved into it with blood of something kind.
is it like the chewing tooth, or is it like a fang? And
Tooth,
what's the size of it?
a fang, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so is it like knife-sized, or?
No, it's just something you could hold in your hand.
I see. And what does it do?
You can ask the merchant. The
In which
goblin is
case I
like, "Do
would
you want?
approach
Want to
the.
know what it does?"
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah, goblin is like a tiny thing, and it's I'm like 6'4". I just kind of lean over him, like, what is this? Because
Well, you see this thing, this marvelous
yes.
tooth. Once you give it a rub and you give it a crush, you get a big old ball of ice. It lasts for a little bit, but you can do some damage with it.
A wall of ice.
A maul,
Hmm.
as in the big hammer,
Mole?
as in the hammer.
Oh, Maul. Okay.
Yes,
So if I crush the tooth, I can smack somebody with a
with a giant
conjured.
ice hammer.
Nice, it's hammer time.
It lasts for 2d6 rounds, and it does 2d6 bludgeoning and 2d6 cold damage. It is a heavy two-handed weapon.
Okay, and you only have one of these?
Mm-hmm.
Is it a rechargeable thing, or is it a one-time use?
Once.
One-time use
It is
one.
a cipher,
Okay,
effectively.
that's interesting. How much would they request for that?
50. It's pretty good.
It is pretty good. Okay, let's for the time being, let's browse what else you have.
So the other piece that you saw that looked interesting is there's a weird jagged piece of iron with like geometric patterns carved into it, and it glows slightly.
I would
Uh,
point towards that and inquire what it is
well,
about.
once you give this a good rub a dub dub and rub off all the runes, you got a little bit of a better aim. You like makes it
So it's a
+1 to ranged
once again,
attacks for 1 minute.
just a cipher too.
Yep.
Okay, that's fair enough. And how much for this one?
Well, you never know when you need a little extra. He kind of eyes you and goes 25, because he's being a bit coy about this.
Well, that's fair enough. But if I pick up both, would you be willing to drop, say, 15 gold pieces?
60. I'm giving you that really cheap. Roll me persuasion.
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 Click.
Ooh, yeah, he's buying it. He's like, oh, well, fine.
In that case, I would like to grab both of them and I just hand him over the gold pieces.
Clink, clink, clink. He looks at his gold pieces and he's like happy. Because he made a profit, so he's happy.
Oh, I'm glad he's happy. I'm gonna need to mark everything that I got here. So that would be a tooth. That is a mole.
Let me just copy some descriptions for you.
Okay, let me just copy paste that. Just straight up copy paste that. Click. And click. When you said about the tooth, the dragon's tooth, I assumed it was a thing like you drop into the ground and it conjures a construct to fight for you.
No.
Kind of like the whole Greek mythology thing.
Ooh.
Have you heard about that one?
Nope. Go ahead.
Jason and the Argonauts have planted dragon teeth out of which an army has risen from the field.
Oh yeah, that thing.
It's been on 3 hours. Shall we wrap it up?
That's reasonable, yes.
Because I got other
Awesome.
stuff to do today.
Sure. Go nuts.
Okay, I'll cut the stream in 3, 2, 1. 3. Unless you got something to say. 1.
Well, thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye. And